Shit was cray. Okay, cool. Hey, party people. Welcome back. This is going to be episode 6A. I was just talking to somebody earlier today about the podcast. They were asking how it was going, and I was like, yeah, well, we've uploaded like 14 episodes now. And they're like, what? 14 already? Yeah, hard to believe. Like, that's a yeesh. If you don't already, go check us out on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. You can follow us if you want to, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you want to hang out with us, be part of the conversation, join us, hang out, talk, go join our Discord. The link should be in the description of whatever platform you're listening to us on. Jimmy's pretty awesome about all that stuff. Thanks, Jimmy. And if you really, really want to support us, and by no means should you feel obligated to, really just if you can afford it and want to help us create more content, then check us out on Patreon. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're going to be getting... Oh, giveaway. I don't know if the giveaway will be done by the time that this uploads. I don't think it will. So if you are interested in getting your hands on a campaign guide by Ghostfire Gaming for their Grim Hollow setting, go check out our Discord, and you'll find the details there to get in on the giveaway, and we'll try and get you that hardcover book in your hands. Maybe you'll be the one that wins it. Yeah, time for the recap now, and then we're right into it. The recap this time, I was telling the players this earlier today, that it's not going to be like a recap. It's going to be kind of like a little bit of the lore of Etheris as we have homebrewed it. Keep in mind, we love Ghostfire Gaming and all of their work, but you know, we like to add our own little flavor to things, so I take some liberty upon myself sometimes to do a little bit of homebrew. Thunar, first of Grakos, 301 YOD, first morning of Darkreign. In the year 32 YOD, the people rejoiced when Darkreign ended. The sun that broke the horizon was as welcome as the winter's thaw, as precious and innocent as a newborn babe, as worshipped as the gods themselves. Thus, the holiday Liticlaps was born. Catch me on this one. You guys are going to realize something later on. You're going to be like, I hate you, Prowler.
True.
But thus the holiday Liticlaps was born, which in the old tongue meant light again, which was referring to the sky. A week-long period to echo Darkreign and a time to celebrate the living and the lives of those lost. Even in a land this grim, there were times that hope blossomed and spirits were lifted. The holiday is shared with all of Etheris, all except for Ostoya. The light withdrew and left Ostoya cold in the year 262 YOD. Finally, after all these decades, the light had returned, but only just in time for darkness to crush the people's spirits once more for a week. But damned be those missing gods. The people of Nov Ostoya would see that light again, and this time, they probably swear that they won't let it go. So we resume. In the last episode, we talked about a few things prior to the session to figure out what you guys would have done in the 2-day kind of time skip that we had. You guys hired 2 mercenaries, Troy and Isaac, whom were hired by Eamon after he sold his Ring of the Daywalker to Yakov for 121 platinum. Rylon went about the expenses to get the windows boarded. You guys ended up buying enough food and water to last for all of Darkreign, including the child, who is aptly named Clement, as we found out last session. And that child, for our listeners that may not remember, is the child of a seraph of Moriel, as we found out 1 or 2 sessions ago. In the first morning / night of Darkreign, our players saw 4 Shadow Stealers, 3 Gaunt ones, 1 bat in the distance trying to, like a giant bat, like I'm talking huge, actually huge size in D&D terms, in the distance trying to break in through the roof of a house. And whatever this creature is that the party is currently fighting as we resume, the door was locked with the spell Arcane Lock by Ilfharyn, and Eamon also purchased for the party 3 oil lanterns. At some point during the last session, Yakov and another female vampire, who the party doesn't know yet, so I don't need to say the name out loud, they encountered Yakov during Darkreign, and he explained that he was going to be hunting and honing his skills as a martial fighter, and that female vampire would be joining him. And I also explained, I don't remember if I did this in pre-session or during the session itself, but I've given the party, because of the kind of 2-day time skip that we had and the fact that that we can't possibly think of everything that we would want to do in such a short amount of time before the session, I gave the party, every member of the party, so the 3 characters, Rylon, Ilfharyn, and Eamon, 2 quote-unquote flashbacks that they each have between now and the end of Darkreign. It's kind of an oh shit button where if they were to encounter an NPC that I didn't plan for right now, but like end up introducing like 4 sessions from now, they could use a flashback to be like, we already tried to strengthen relationships with this person, or we snuck over to the hideout of the Bloody Eyes and cased the place, and so I would tell them details that they would find out from that. Because a lot can happen in 2 days. With all that being said, the session resumes with, I'm going to give Ilfharyn an action, because he said he was prepping a spell, and then Eamon attacked, and Rylon attacked, and I also rolled already for the dex save that we said that this creature would need to make upon the start of the next session, and they rolled a 13. Which means that they fail on the dex save, I think, right, Jimmy?
It's a wisdom save, not a dex save.
Oh, shit.
Use the roll.
It's the same bonus, so I'm just going to say it's the same roll, so 13 still.
Alright, so he fails, so he takes, let's see, he takes some radiant damage.
Okay.
He takes 3d8 radiant damage, so 13 radiant damage, and his speed is now halved.
Okay. Yeah, and you see these like little spirit guardians like slamming in, like spears driving forward and just like bursting into plumes of light that slowly turn into like steam as they roil off the side of this creature.
Yeah,
it doesn't look too enthused by this.
A bunch of faceless angels, all bald, by the way.
All bald. Got it. That's a good detail to have. So now that we know that stuff, I want to come over to Ilfharyn. Ilfharyn is going to be taking the first real turn, and then we're going to be getting into the actual initiative.
I think I actually canceled my held action, because I know I was going to say I was holding like a counter spell or something, but obviously that's a reaction, so it doesn't really matter. Although, since I have it, I'll go ahead and blur myself, just because I can.
Blur, that's the disembodied kind of trait, right?
Nope, that is a spell, but I have it as innate spellcasting because of disembodied.
Oh my god, really?
Mm-hmm.
That is
really
so
good.
sick.
That's broken.
That is so sick.
50% attack.
What exactly does Blur do?
Blur makes it so if a creature attacks me, they have the roll with disadvantage.
That is nuts.
They ignore that if they don't rely on sight. So if they have blind sight, if they can see through illusions, if they have true sight, then they're fine.
That is really cool. That's a cool spell. I've never heard of that. Like, imagine this. So this is my second real big campaign. That one went for about 40. The first one went for about 40, 45 sessions, including like mini sessions from like players splitting off. Maybe 50 sessions actually, if you include those. And this one, we are technically, for me running them, we are in our like 30th session now. And I didn't know the spell Blur. Crazy. Yeah, so you cast Blur on yourself, and then conveniently in the turn order, it is next turn of Isaac. Isaac is like behind Ilfharyn, behind Eamon, behind Rylon. Rylon's just outside the door. Eamon's just about to be in the door. I'm gonna say that if he were to, he's gonna move, but he's not gonna quite be able to make it to the door. So for our listeners, the players are like fighting just outside the doorway of their building that they've kind of barricaded so far. And they're all kind of crammed in the first floor. It's not the largest building. I think the main room of the first floor is like 15 feet by like 25 feet. And then there's some stairs that go upstairs to 2 little tiny bedrooms that are like 10 feet by 10 feet, or like 10 feet by 5 feet, or 15 feet by 10 feet, something like that. But it's a small building, to suffice to say. And so a little bit cramped downstairs right now, and Isaac is going to try and get past everyone, but he's going to make it like just next to the doorway in his turn. I'm going to roll. At which point we come over to Eamon.
Yeah, so as a bonus action, I'm going to kind of close my eyes for a second as I begin to concentrate and cast Chit, well, not cast, but activate Chit in the Shell, which is
I think you actually already had that activated.
probably.
I know that you activated it last session. I don't know if you.
So I guess my main thing would be, so it's unlimited uses, right? But it does take a bonus action. It lasts for 1 minute. So I mean, the question really would be like, if I'm constantly doing it, right? Which I can because it lasts.
Is that something that you think you would have done?
Yeah. I mean, I did mention it. So what I'm saying is like, do I get it for the whole round? Like when, because it's every minute, right? So what I'm trying to say is, okay, cool. Then I wouldn't need to do that then. I would step up and quickly transforming my arms into my claws and tusks, my long bones, all that. And I'm going to quickly dash around my boy here and get up behind this thing and start letting out a flurry of attacks. Is this stuff still activated, Rylon, even though the circle's gone?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. So I'm gonna go here.
Yeah.
And I am going to attack. I'll declare now. Actually, I'll spend the monk point. I'm gonna do a flurry of attacks here with my fists. And here they go. First one's coming at a 16 to hit.
A 16 does hit.
Okay, I needed to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. Can it bleed? Is that a condition that I can apply to it?
I think so. So.
I rolled it by accident. Sorry, go ahead.
You said con saving throw?
Yep, this is a con saving throw.
A 10.
Okay, he fails. So he gets the bleeding condition. He cannot regain hit points from spells or abilities. He can only regain hit points by consuming hit dice or completing a long rest at this time. And then the rest of the attacks are coming at him.
Wait, sorry. Repeat again. What can't he heal from?
He cannot heal from spells or abilities. Oof. That's an oof for this one, huh?
A little bit.
Bleeding's great. So I slash out with one of my claws, and I just kind of rip into him a bit. He would start to bleed, and I'm quickly lashing out with my other hand with a flurry of 3 quick attacks.
Okay, so hypothetically, what could it heal from then? I'm trying to think. So abilities would be like Second Wind and shit like that.
Potions even count as spells, I think, right? Like they're like the actual items are spells. I'm not sure about that, by the way. I'm not 100%. I just know that's been ruled against me.
I would assume, like Undead said, it's hit die, so like short rest, long rest, or any spell that uses hit die. I know there's the, Sanguimancy?
Yeah, a lot
spells.
of Sanguimancy from Ghostfire stuff.
And he can repeat the saving throw at the end of his turn.
Okay.
So
got you.
That's something he can do. But if I hit him again...
it's mostly a vampire cucker, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Fuck vampires. Alright, here come the other attack. 16 to hit.
16 does hit.
Thank you, sir. Can he make a dex saving throw? And I never did the damage to the other one.
Dex saving throw.
Yeah. As I attempt to shove him back 10 feet.
A 5.
Okay, he gets shoved 10 feet out of the circle again.
And what size does that ability go up to? Is it like medium and large? Are okay to be
fairly
pushed
sure
back?
it's one size my larger. Let me double check.
I think it is one size your larger.
There's no actual... I could actually push anything. When you hit a creature with an unarmed attack, strike, or monk weapon, you can force it to make a strength saving throw against your key save. On a failure, you can choose to push or pull the creature 10 feet. And it's
shit cray.
And it's psionic more than like me actually being strong enough to push him.
Yeah, definitely. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
so are you pushing it away
out
towards the wagon?
Towards the wagon.
Okay. And that's 10 feet?
Yep.
This Leaden Crown is something else.
Yeah, Leaden Crown is sick. Leaden Crown is so sick. We were just talking about how we're going to be doing a one-shot soon. And Jimmy, what class did you say you're going to play again?
The Green Reaper class.
Oh, interesting.
And that's from
Ghostfire.
Yeah.
Grim Hollow build. Yep.
That's going to be sweet.
All about poison and stuff like that.
So, see how it goes.
Yeah. Is there anything... Oh.
Yeah, those are the damages for those 2 attacks, and then he's got... I'm going to step forwards and attack him 2 more times. Smile.
Okay. I need to know if your hooked claws and talons count as magical weapons.
They do.
They do. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, sir. On our monk baby. Yeah, it's actually pretty disgusting. In that aspect. Good news, I have 40 HP. Putting that out there.
Good news. That's good news for me, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. So that's those 2 attacks. So he takes 9 and 8 damage. Mixture of magical force damage and then magical bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
Or is it slashing?
Done.
I'll figure that out later. And then 2 more attacks. as I kind of slide forward as he falls backwards.
Yeah.
13 and an 11.
I just imagine Eamon like sprinting out of this building or like jogging out of this building and just like sliding into a stance like beside this thing and just like punching once, twice, and then like punching once, twice again.
Yeah, it's like hit, step forward, as I'm trying to force.
Neither of those hit.
Okay.
So the second two do not hit.
So I kind of slide forwards a little bit. My stance falling out of sway a little bit because I moved and I would miss. And
Yeah,
that's
and you see that it like wasn't focused on you; it's focused on Rylon when you let out the first two hits, and now that it's looking at you, it just like kind of like steps back just in time, or kind of floats back just in time because it doesn't have legs.
I give it a sheepish grin and wait for my demise.
Rylon, your turn.
All right. How's this creature looking? Is he looking all right?
He's looking pretty all right.
All right. So I'm gonna take a step back and kind of elevate myself here. I'm gonna move 5 feet back. We'll push it to 10, and
Okay.
I'm gonna float up 10 feet. All right. So I'm just looking down at this guy as I kind of my wings are kind of gusting about.
Yeah.
Just for extra safety here, I'm gonna think real hard and just utter a small prayer to myself, to Solima, and hopefully that she gives me the strength necessary to defeat this abomination. And I'm going to cast Guardian of Faith.
Oh.
So right in front of him, a large spectral guardian appears above him, or in front of him, I should say. It's not concentration, so it's not going to get rid of my spirit guardians, and it's going to appear like right, I'll say to the left of him in that little nook area right there, kind of like between the door and Eamon. So so the spectral guardian is going to be a complete replica of Halifax, by the way.
Okay.
So it's a large Halifax with the Ostoyan hat, but he's got a large greatsword in his hand. And it's gonna be posted up in that corner.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn. And if if this creature starts his turn within 10 feet of my guardian, and he moves or he tries to do anything within 10 feet of the guardian, he has to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. I just imagine like you're looking at this thing, and Eamon comes out and gets this thing like off your back for a moment, and it's just the whole time like dead set, like glowing sort of silvery eyes that like tears are streaming down from, and these wicked like 4 horns that are just curling out in different directions, just eyes beaming at your wings, and just like dead set focused on them. You make your way up into the air and summon this thing, and we come over to the creature's turn, and it is
Smile.
it's looking right at Eamon for a moment, like it pulls its gaze away from Rylon, kind of hesitant, as if it's trying to like physically drag its face away with its hand, but it's not, of course. It's gonna make it's gonna make 2 claw attacks.
No! Get off him!
Get off
26 and a 25.
Yeah, I think those hit, bro.
Yeah. For a oh my god. Do you have any damage resistance at all?
No, that's a really good thing. Damage resistance is hard to get.
Okay, you take a total then of 28, a combination between the 2 hits of slashing and fire damage.
Okay. As a reaction, I'm going to use my Divine Clemency transformation boon, and if a creature within 60 feet of me that is an ally takes damage, I can use a first level or higher spell to restore hit points to it. So I'm going to extend my spell, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him. Let's see, we'll do it at 2nd level.
Okay, to confirm, you said 28, right?
Yes, 28.
Okay, so 2nd level, so it's
Please roll high, for God's sake.
Hopefully it's good, buddy. 13. Hey, ain't too bad.
That's not bad.
We take those.
And then, as on top of that, brother, I got the Voice of Authority. So you can use your reaction if you so choose to make an attack right now.
Oh yeah, I so choose, buddy. I definitely so choose. So I imagine this thing like comes out and just rips my stomach open.
It's
that
just
12
like
HP?
Fiery, smoking like cinders of talons, basically.
I'd like glance down as I'd see my wound re-stitching itself, and I'd quickly dive at this thing, attempting to impale it.
Okay. Oh, impale it. Oh,
With my
okay.
big old talon.
All right, let's see this roll.
All right, good luck, boys. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
24. Okay, that hits.
All right, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Dude, I love
All right,
this
I just need to make sure. Yep, we Gucci. It's not on my turn. I need it to make a Constitution saving throw, sir. I'm going to spend a key point to attempt to stun this bitch.
Let's go.
Fuck, I
Stunning
forgot to,
strike.
speaking of that, I forgot to make that save. Damn, might be. You said con saving throw?
Yeah, it's gonna be a con saving throw.
A 22.
Oof.
Fuck.
Unlucky.
It is not stunned, but it does take 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Magical bludgeoning, magical
Yep.
whatever.
Force.
Got you.
Force. Thank you.
Okay. Is that
Is that its turn?
oh yeah, that's right. Oh no, because it is. Okay, then it's gonna make the con saving throw since I
Okay.
remember it. A 22 as well.
That
on this
doesn't.
one. So
It's no
more
longer bleeding now.
for now. For now.
My next turn's coming, bitch.
I know what's happening. I think this thing then is gonna. Yeah, it's gonna end its turn. Just a little bit of flavor as Rylon casts this spell. Like it's focused on Rylon, pulls its gaze away, is looking at Eamon, and brings down like both talons in like a cross kind of X swipe, leaving smoldering gashes across Eamon's torso. And immediately the radiant energy starts to like stitch up the wounds from the edges all the way up, like a zipper. And this thing's eyes just go wide and glow even brighter as it's like staring in mesmerization at this radiant energy that's healing you. And then it looks back up at Rylon again, and then it ends its turn, like mumbling something in infernal that no one here understands. And we
No
come
one
over to-
understands what you're saying. Speak,
come over to-
Ostoya.
Speak, Ostoya! It's now Ilfharyn's turn.
Hey. All right. Bonus action. We're gonna go into Blade Song.
Okay.
I am then going to move my full movement, which is 40 feet, and I'm going to close the distance on this,
Oh shit, party's
on this
ganging up on
abomination.
Danger close.
him. True.
I believe that should get me right next to it, if I
Um,
measured it out correctly.
Yeah, should be good.
Okay, I'll get right there, right up on it.
So now everyone is outside of the building, and this thing is like right up against one of the walls on the outside, and everyone is just surrounding it, except for Rylon, who is like hovering 20 feet away from it and like 10 feet in the air, just like
Mhm.
whooshing his wings.
Yeah, what's the hypotenuse of this?
I hate that shit. Okay. All right. First attack, with Rapier,
Mhm.
is a 14.
A 14 does not hit.
Okay. Next attack is made advantage because this is an elite rapier and it has
Oh
swift.
yeah. Once again, a Grim Hollow weapon, which is sick.
This is going to be booming blade as well, since I can use
Classic.
a cantrip on one of my attacks. So I'll go ahead and roll the rapier first.
Okay.
19.
19 does hit.
Okay, perfect. Damage is going to be 4. That's a natural 1. And the booming blade, this is just going to roll the full damage, but it's going to be 1d8.
Oh, I forgot you silvered your weapon. Clutch.
I did, yes. Okay, that's also a natural 1. So I did the minimum amount of damage I possibly could.
That's real rough.
But it is now sheathed in thunder.
The creature is?
Yes.
Got it. And what does that look like? I imagine it's just kind of like a shimmering sort of,
Yeah,
like,
I
you know,
imagine it's
like
kinda
heat
an aurora.
lines, like heat distortion, just kind of like that
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of mirage effect around it.
Yep.
Sick. Okay. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. Now that it's gonna be the turn of Isaac, and Isaac
Who the hell
is
is this guy?
he's like stuck in a corner. There we go. He's gonna make his way outside and next to this creature as well, letting out 2 quick slashes with his sword, which is also silvered. Sorry, I actually
Hell yeah, Isaac, let's go.
gotta pull up the stat block. It's been a while since I've used this one.
Come on, Isaac. Let's show what you're paid for. Let's see it.
He rolls an 8 and a 9, and misses with both.
Come on,
real
get your money back.
bad.
It was a good attempt.
real bad. And you see that the mark on his chest is just like glowing through the armor still. Which, I mean, Rylon and Ilfharyn are kind of like the only ones that would know anything about that, I suppose. If I had to give like a scale of 0 or of 1 to 4, you've probably seen it this much glowing before with Ruben, like where it's like glowing through the armor. It's kind of a big deal.
Right.
And through the corner of your eye, Rylon, you see like right up against one of the boarded windows, Stazriel's eyes peeking through. Rylon,
What?
you need help.
I look down and I survey the situation. Let me make an intelligence check.
Or an insight.
Oh, alright, insight. 11. How's it looking? Is it
I'm
genuine?
gonna leave that up to you.
The situation looks pretty genuine. Just keep the child safe.
Okay, we come over to Undead. Eamon.
Eamon de la Beston.
Oh yeah, no, push to talk's the thing. All right, yeah, I'm going to, in my current position, stay exactly where I am and continue to lash out at him. I am going to use another key point to do a flurry of blows as my bonus action, and here come some attacks as he lashes out with his left clawed arm.
And this guy is just surrounded right now by
He's about to get smoked.
4 of you.
Yeah,
He's
there's
getting
Halifax
dogpiled
there in
right
the corner. A
13.
large
Fuck!
spectral Halifax.
Yeah. That misses a 13.
That's all right. I got 2 arm. That's a 20, sir.
A 20 does hit.
All right. I'm gonna spend a key point. I need you to make a Dex saving throw and a Constitution saving throw, sir.
A 9 on the dex, and on
Okay.
the constitution, a 7.
Okay. He is pushed 10 feet back with this attack,
Again.
and he is stunned
And he is stunned. Okay.
Damn.
until the end of his next turn.
What's the stun condition again?
Advantage on attacks, and he can't take any actions, I think,
Oh shit.
if I remember correctly. Incapacitated, can't move, can't. He can speak only falteringly. He automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws, and you have advantage against him. And he can't take actions or reactions.
Okay.
That was 3 attacks or 2? 1, 2, 2 attacks. Okay. So as he's now out of this here circle, I presume, I'm going to step forwards again, still sliding into my stance, and the 2 more attacks are coming out.
Man, just keep it on the offensive, like pressing hard right now.
For real.
13 and
13
a
misses. And
11
an 11
small.
also misses.
That's all right. Every time I move,
But you
I
said
get
you move
fucked.
forward?
Yeah, I do move forward right up to him. I'm keeping him cornered. Actually, let's see. Viewing this thing, does it look like it's how long do his arms look?
Long enough to attack you in melee range, like close melee range, I think. I wouldn't say that he could hit you from 10 feet away, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep that 10-foot distance at this point. I think I would have moved up to him because it's hard to see on Tailspire, you know what I mean? Because with the space in the cart and stuff. So is this does it want to make an opportunity attack against me as I kind of slide back into the protection of
It's
the...
stunned.
Oh,
Can't
that's
take
right.
reactions.
I forgot, I'm sorry. That is the damage it takes total. I rolled 2 ones there. And yeah, I'm gonna end my turn in this circle here.
Got it. Okay. Everyone's kind of like in this like half moon sort of shape around it at a distance of 10 feet now. It is going to go into Rylon's turn.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Right, just a shot in the dark here.
Ooh.
Because Eamon pushed him back, does that activate the booming blade damage?
No, it's
Okay.
willing, it's willing movement.
Got it. Okay, so seeing that he's stunned, and I see kind of like him just kind of like,
Yeah, his like eyes kind of glazed over for a second, and
just kind of like, ooh, you know, he just like broke down for like a half a second there. I take my hands and I reach into both sides of where my pockets are, and I pull out the finger guns and I point them towards this creature, and I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at him twice. So I'm going to twin the spell and use 1 sorcery point to cast it at first level because I'm going to save some of my spell slots here.
got you.
Cast it twice. Okay, so spell 1 sorcery point. Where it is, Guiding Bolt, and it's at advantage because he's stunned, right? So attack. Oh, what the fuck was that?
How's me just doing the little Tailspire effects?
Oh, Jesus, scared the shit out of me. All right, 26 for the first attack.
Okay.
And 14 for the second
14
one.
does not hit.
Okay, so first one goes. I'll say the first one goes wide, and the second one hits him right in the chest. Does 12 radiant damage, and he now has. I mean, it doesn't like it really matters, but there's now another advantage on the next attack.
Got you.
And I'm going to move actually closer. Okay, 5, 10, and I'll just hover behind these guys. And so I will.
Your spirit guardians.
Yep.
Let's see. That does reach him now.
Yep. So on the start of his turn, he'll have to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
What about Big Halifax?
Big Halifax is just chilling. He doesn't move.
Oh,
But if he
doesn't move?
if he doesn't move, no. But if he takes a step forward, he'll have to make a dex save.
That is so. God, this is so cool. Okay. All right.
We're prepared for Darkreign.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
It comes over to its turn, and it kind of like, as it gets smacked with this bolt, it kind of like shakes its head a little bit and looks around and works its jaw once or twice, like bringing both of its arms like down to its sides, like kind of limp, casual, and slowly its head raises to look at you in the air once again, just staring at your wings with like laser beam focus. But it was stunned, so it comes over to Ilfharyn.
Yes, and by the way, I was researching it. It's till the end of my turn, so it is still stunned until my turn here, and I am going to attack it.
That is OP.
It's pretty good.
It's Ilfaryn's turn.
Oh, it's Ilfaryn's turn.
mhm.
It's till the end of your next turn.
Yes.
God damn. Okay.
It's still just stunned.
Yeah, you get advantage on your attacks.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Ilfaryn, blade dance on this guy. Come on.
Okay, we'll move in again. Go for the same 2 attacks.
Okay.
Advantage that does not hit.
13 does not.
Second, again, booming blade.
A 22
22
does.
Does. Wonderful. Damage 6 for the rapier.
Uh-huh.
And
Gotcha.
booming blade is a 1d8. Is a 7.
Okay, 7. So like, how do you envision that happening? Like, is it once you hit him with the dagger, like the kind of thunderous damage just like ripples and there's like a boom and all of a sudden it's like force damage just like shocks into him or something?
Essentially, I mean, I'm casting a spell while doing this. So I'm uttering something and my other hand is moving and suddenly my sword just lights up just before it touches him and then it's
That's
a
so
little
sweet.
poke.
That's so sweet. Okay. Anything else?
I'm going to dart back out. I'm going to move.
Okay, and while it's stunned, it can't take opportunity attacks, right?
That's right.
Yep. So I'm going to move a little bit further back.
I hate you guys.
Small.
You gotta hate
Let's
him on,
see.
not us.
Yeah, true.
I'm at 25 HP.
Yeah, I'm not going to bonus action here. I'll call my turn.
Okay.
Monk shit, man. That shit's crazy.
Isaac was paid to do a job, and he's going in and he's gonna try and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
Isaac.
advantage. Let's see it, Isaac.
This time he's totally got it, right?
I hope so.
A 14 misses,
Come.
and a 24 hits
There we
There
go.
we go.
for 9 slashing.
What kind of weapon does he have again?
A silvered knightly sword.
Ooh. Damn, did I sell it to him?
No, I don't believe you did. But that is what you had, actually.
Yeah.
No, you had a knightly sword plus 1. That's
It
what
was
it was.
magical when it wasn't silvered, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Damage dealt. He like runs forward, like whooshes past Eamon, like clangs a couple times, brings in it for his first swing, and the creature kind of like lazily sort of leans to the side, and it like, it's like in the animes where like you see the blade like a fraction of an inch away from them, like just whoosh past their skin, and then the second one comes around and slashes right across it. You see that its blood is like this like black sort of tar color almost as it's leaking this stuff out in like a thick viscous ooze, and we come over to undead.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to attack this thing.
Mhm.
Quick retcon mistake I found while I was reading, because like I said, I have a lot of different abilities. It is a strength saving throw for that psionic ability. So
Oh,
just put it out
okay.
there in the future.
Yeah, fair. That's
I think he would
that's
have
actually a
failed all
big
of his
difference.
saves. I know, but I think we're pretty low. I don't think anyone. Was close.
I think they were pretty low. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to attack this thing and spend another key point to do flurry of blow. How's this thing looking?
It's looking pretty good.
Oh, it's looking pretty good still. Fucking motherfucker.
In post, I'm gonna be editing this, and then you're gonna be like, "That's a DC 12," and he would have rolled like an 11, and it would have made a big difference.
I'd be so sorry, buddy.
But
I did find out immediately and said something, so here we are.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But yes, so I'm going to attack it. Let's see if I hit.
That undead guy, he's a cheater.
Smile. I slide slightly to my right, and I let out an attack. Oh, that's a crit.
Ooh, nat 20 on a 26 total.
Bust on him, undead. What does it look like when you bust on him, real quick?
So right now, you'd see he's at distance, right? And you'd see his hook claw kind of comes out, and he makes a motion where he kind of lashes out, but tries to pull backwards. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw and a Strength saving throw.
A 19 on the con.
Okay, he's not bleeding.
A 10 on the strength.
He is pulled 10 feet back into the middle of us as I pull him back into us with Psychonic Force.
Whoa.
And let out another flurry of 3 attacks. And I'm gonna need a con save on each of these until he fails.
Each of them.
Yeah. And the damage for that, by the way,
Wait,
15.
He has to make a dex save, by the way. From me.
Oh, for you? Oh yeah, he has
Yeah.
to make a dex save.
That would actually be a So what is the natural damage on that? Is it a 1d6 or is it 2d6 is the natural damage?
It's 2 1d6 is the natural damage.
Okay. So
they both roll again because it's unless he's got something for Chris.
So then the first dice would have maxed out. That's one thing
right.
that Roll20 kind of has over Foundry, from what I've seen, is just like the customization for critical rolls.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, we've mentioned it a few times, but for our listeners, we max out the dice on the first set of damage, and then the second rolls are made naturally. So like when you double your dice, the first ones are always maximum potential damage. So in this case, Eamon said he did 15 damage. He would have actually done 17 damage.
Perfect.
Nice.
So it's gonna be 17 slashing, magical slashing, and force.
Okay.
And yeah,
He has to make a dex save.
con save and a dex save.
Yeah.
Actually, no, this is actually the previous attack.
Yeah, this is the previous attack.
I still have 3.
So your next attacks. Yeah.
Yes, but a dex save for him for Jimmy here.
Yeah. As the spectral Halifax swings away as he gets pulled in.
Jesus, 3 saves with 1 attack.
It's a
Gross.
dex save, you said?
Yeah, dex save.
A 3.
3? Alright, he takes 20 radiant damage.
Oh my
20
god!
Radiant.
That's right. Every time you get hit by the spectral or the Guardian of Faith, you take automatic 20 radiant damage. And half as much on a failed one.
I'm really glad I pulled him in. Fucking hell. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Okay.
As grandiose spectral Halifax.
Yeah, I was gonna narrate it. Like, you see like this great sword just like stab out right past between Eamon and Isaac as this great sword like sinks into the midsection of this creature where it's like sort of hidden by the smoke and then like retracts, and Halifax is just like their blank expression, like the classic Ostoyan top hat on, and that's just goofy.
And awesome. He would have visibly jumped when the greatsword came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then trying to slide back into his stance, quickly lash out again.
Okay. 18 hits.
18. I should have rolled that at advantage, but I forgot it's fine. 18 hits, so Constitution saving throw, please.
Con save. A 7.
Okay, he fails. He's bleeding. Can't take the healing from anything except for all the things I mentioned earlier.
Sorry. That was I just rolled I didn't roll anything. I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
A 21. Sorry.
Okay, that passes. He's not bleeding currently. But
he did take the 7 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
18.
18 does hit. And what save does he make on that? I'm just assuming there's a save.
Yeah, I have advantage. I'm only gonna make sure on crit. Yeah, a con save, sir.
So those on both of those?
No, just the first one there.
A 19.
Okay.
But both of those did hit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One more. Sorry, I'm getting confused with my rolls because I forgot to roll with advantage through roll 20.
A 12.
Okay. Now he's bleeding.
What's the DC on that?
It is 14, sir.
Oh right. Okay.
And
Oh wait, is this technically a magic effect or a spell?
No, it's me tearing into him and causing the condition of bleeding through the sharp talons and claws and stuff.
Okay, got it. So he's bleeding.
I believe.
And the damage on those is
19 total damage, sir.
sheesh.
Yeah, because I also think this bleeding.
Eamon a real
thing-
powerhouse.
Yeah,
I'm
the
a glass
bleeding-
cannon, sir.
Bleeding is like I don't think that even exists really in the mechanics for that in the regular.
No, this is from
was it
Grim Hollow, I
Koku?
believe.
Yeah.
It's really good. That bleeding shit's really good. Minus
Yeah,
the fact that my arms are complete hooks and talons.
Yeah, that's cray.
Can't pull that out in the middle of a city, you know? Unless it's
Yeah.
Darkreign.
Of course.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that is my turn, sir. I'm gonna save my last key point.
Okay, so now he's no longer stunned, and it is Rylon's turn.
Hey, it's me.
And so, like, there's just, I mean, it's hard for it to stay so focused on Rylon's wings when it's just getting, like, punched and hooked constantly. But it seems like when its attention gets pulled away, it just, like, glances at Eamon and, like, brushes off whatever he's doing and goes back to, like, staring at Rylon.
Yeah, that's creepy. We don't vibe with that too much. I am going to. I'm gonna just cast. Fuck, I don't want to drop this. So we'll cast another guiding bolt at him as I lower one of my finger guns and the other one kind of like locks in and it's just gonna shoot in his direction. First
Okay.
level. 16.
16 hits.
Nice. Takes 7 radiant damage, and the next attack on him has advantage.
Okay. And you see the guiding bolt, like, just smash into him and just start to evaporate up in steam, leaving, like, a mark where it was.
Yeah, that nice little teal radiant-ish energy
Yeah.
comes out. Alright, it's my turn.
That's it? Okay. On its turn, does it need to make a save on the...
Wisdom save.
Okay.
For the spirit guardians that are the faceless bald men, almost
A 13.
resembling Gabriel. 13 fails. Okay, let me scroll up here to find the spirit guardians. I'm just gonna roll it again because it's way too far up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so he takes 3d8.
I'm sorry, I have
radiant,
like
10
11 rolls a
radiant.
turn.
Yeah, I know, right? You son of a bitch. Alright, so he takes 10 radiant damage.
10 more radiant. Okay.
And his speed is continuing to be halved.
And it's going to, like, seeing that Eamon is just in his face, in his way right now, he, like, looks up at Rylon, looks down, and the direct path between him and Rylon is Eamon. And he's going to look down at you, Eamon, and his eyes are going to glow, like, as bright as the sun, and just stare at you, as he uses...
Gulp.
I need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws.
Is this a spell?
This is not a spell.
All right.
I appreciate the attempt, Ilfharyn.
No counter spell, Ilfharyn.
Here we go.
Ilfharyn prevails.
A 16?
16 and
A
19, let's see it.
14.
14. Okay. You take you are able to dodge the first one. Like, you get this, like, creeping hair on your, like, all your hairs on your body are, like, standing on end. You get this weird feeling like something's about to happen, and you just, like, without thinking, step to the side as, like, a beam of light from its eyes comes shooting down into the ground, and you, like, hop over it, and immediately a second one just, like, zap zap. The second one hits you, dealing 15 radiant damage to you.
Ow. It like burned a hole straight through
It's
my
like-
shoulder.
Yeah, it's like a silvery sort of hue, like silvery yellowish kind of golden light, and then it's going to try and make its way around to Rylon.
That's gonna trigger Booming Blade.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Down,
Alright.
take it down.
I'll scroll up and roll it, and then I'll just remove the 1d8 since it's all added together.
Actually, yeah, I already declared that it's gonna move, so it's gonna move. It moves like directly underneath Rylon.
During that move, does it step out of my range at all? Or is it,
I'd
like,
say it steps out of
circling
your
around?
range. It does not step out of Ilfharyn's, but it does step out of Isaac's as well.
Alright, so I'm going to use my reaction to make an opportunity attack, sir.
Am I
Sounds
just
good to me.
dancing on his head right now? What's going on?
You're like right over top of it, yeah.
It's
like,
coming for your way.
It looks like it's gonna reach up and try and grab you in a second. Make this attack. Misses. So Isaac like slashes out and misses. Like this thing just like slow or quickly sort of maneuvers around. The damage on that was what? 14? Okay.
13.
Wait, 13?
Yeah, because that 1d8 is added to the weapon attack. So that one day I rolled a 1, so 13.
14
damage.
sir.
14 to hit does not hit. And does it have to make any sort of roll coming into range of your little Halifax thing?
Yes, sir. Dex saving throw.
Oh, is it gonna hurt if he fails again?
A 4.
20 radiant damage as Halifax comes in with the great sword.
Yeah, Halifax like slashes just at its midsection where the smoke is hiding it once again. It's like such a tall thing, and even though Halifax is like normal sized, like it's also kind of weird seeing Halifax like with his normal halfling body, but like stretched upwards like in proportions.
He's fucking large, dude. He's a big
Like his
boy.
glasses are a little bit taller. His feet are a little bit taller for some
And
reason.
I'm gonna say that his classic Ostoyan hat is a couple inches bigger than normal.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
That's
like
awesome.
he was put into Microsoft Paint, and then you just
Yeah.
stretch the bottom of him.
yeah, exactly. Okay, then it comes over to Ilfharyn again, and
Hey,
Ilfharyn is what's your wisdom, Ilfharyn? In fact, what are all your guys' wisdoms?
minus 12.
Mine is 16.
Okay, Eamon?
16.
16. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right, continue.
Okay. We'll go for the same again. Same again.
A lot of
We'll just
options,
just
yeah.
keep it simple. Keep it simple. First attack normal. A miss as always. Second advantage with booming blade. 23. This is
23
just the same
hits.
thing over and over again. I don't understand it. So 11
11.
damage. That's a natural 8. So max damage there.
Okay,
Booming blade is a 3, so that is 11 piercing, silvered, and 3 thunder.
okay, 3
And
thunder.
he is once again sheathed. Is this guy looking like phased at all?
He it's clear that he's such an emotionless figure that I'd say you need to make an insight roll. But I'll give you an insight roll, definitely.
Like an insight for my just free or for my bonus action?
For free. For
For free. Okay, I'll take an insight roll, sure.
I mean, just looking at this image of this creature,
I don't know anything. I rolled a 9.
Yeah,
He's genuine.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, sure. Alright, bonus action, we'll go ahead and Serpent Tongue. We will roll that, see if it hits. 18, I believe hits.
18 does hit, and you guys are just like still surrounding this thing, just wailing, beating on it, and it never lets its eyes off for Rylon for more than a second.
Okay, a snake now protrudes from my
Ew.
mouth, and it bites him between his plates of armor or whatever. It does 3 damage, and he has to make a con save. Or he is poisoned.
He is immune to poisoned.
Fair enough, then. That is my turn.
Okay. 3 piercing, just like little viper tongue comes out.
Yep.
It's like lashes out, snaps onto him, snaps back. Okay,
Honestly, seeing that's the weirdest thing I've seen so far.
probably. And Isaac is going to attack 2 more times. You know that as a witch hunter, you've kind of seen like what Ruben was capable of and the kind of like special sort of things that he did. And you know, I think it's fair to understand, Rylon, this guy's holding back. Maybe it's being like strategic and he's just trying to hold back in case he encounters something that he feels more threatened by later in the night, or he's off alone in front of the front door or something, who knows. But he's kind of pulling some punches a little bit.
I respect
Does a
it. 15
15 hits, and then a 10 that does not. The 15 doing a total of 6 damage. And that's going to be his turn, and it comes over to Eamon.
Whew. Yeah, I'm not looking so hot. I am still going to step into the fight, glancing up at this thing, looking up at Rylon. I'm gonna hit it from behind. It's kind of looking up at Rylon.
Oh, there.
Where's it facing?
It's facing kind of like looking straight up, but its body is facing you. But that's relevant, I would say.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna slide around him with my movement,
Uh huh.
kind of carefully moving, and then I'm going to let out an attack.
And smoke is just like billowing around the underside of it and like rolling across the ground before it dissipates.
Yeah, not good. All right, I'm attacking it. I need it. So 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Please make a Constitution save and a Strength saving throw, sir.
A 22 on the con.
Okay.
And 18 on the strength.
Okay, he succeeds on both. Ow. All right, and then I'm gonna let.
What's the damage on that though?
It's gonna be 6 damage, sir.
Because we're fair around here.
Yeah.
I love that
22 to hit.
Eamon is just constantly phasing the wrong direction. A 22 to hit does hit.
I'm on my sheet so much more than Tailspire right now. 22 hits. Perfect.
Red chip. Amon is punching the air behind him.
This is going.
Any save with that?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
A 23.
All right.
And
yeah,
you
he
did 4
succeeds.
damage.
Yep. That's my turn.
Okay. Rylon.
You.
I feel like you guys are spending a lot of resource this fight.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that.
I'm trying not to.
I look down at this demon angel creature, weirdly eyeing my wings, almost euphoric.
Very.
But I take a sudden glance over towards Isaac, knowing that I've kind of come to the whole realization of the whole like witch hunter thing.
Yeah.
Can I make like a perception check to see if like he has any sort of resemblance to Ruben, or is it just like a random witch hunter? Because I've never seen any witch hunters besides Ruben, and I believe his name was Yasha or something. We met on the
Yasha.
road.
Yeah, you met Yasha and one other Aileron.
Elron, yeah, on the road. But even then, like, witch hunters are like a dime a dozen, right? So like, the fact that this guy's here is almost like a miracle.
Yeah, it's very rare. Very, very rare. They're when we were looking at the timeline before the campaign started, it was detailed that like the first witch hunter faction kind of that formed was wiped out almost 2 centuries ago, or just over 2 centuries ago, and ever since then their numbers have just been dwindling. So this is a rare thing. Yeah, I'd say you can make a free whatever kind of roll you're trying to make, insight or perception.
Okay, I'll do insight because I'm a wise boy. 18.
I'm gonna DM you something.
Let's see.
He's invincible. You're doing nothing.
Wait,
You guys are wasting your fucking time.
Yeah. No, I look at him and I kind of crinkle my expression a little bit, and I just shake it off, and I look down as this creature is literally like reaching for me at the moment.
Yeah, his hand is like slowly reaching up.
I'm going to attempt to fly back towards the cart a little bit.
Okay,
so
I'd say that
I'll-
he's.
Yeah,
I'd
I'll
say
let
he's
him take
close
a
enough
second.
to make an
Take a-
advantage or a.
Attack of opportunity. That's fine.
Yeah. So he's gonna claw for a 17 to hit.
Misses.
Misses,
My
'cause you
armor
got
class
that
is 18,
plate.
baby.
Full
I got that
plate.
classic Estonian plate from the vampire. Shouts out.
Yeah, shouts out like full black. His name is Wolfram Gare, by the way. You have Wolfram Gare's plate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He don't
so
need
you,
it
you
anymore.
move
He's
away.
dust. And I am going to then just cast Firebolt at this guy. Nice little cantrip. Keep it OG as I shoot him with Firebolt. 23.
23 to hit does hit.
Okay, he takes 2d10 fire damage. 14 fire damage.
You hit him like directly in the collarbone, and you see like the smoldering spot left by the firebolt dissipate very quickly.
Nice. Okay. Doesn't look affect him too good.
He didn't even flinch.
Got it. I keep that in mind. And that's my turn.
Okay. And we come over to its turn again, and it's gonna look right up at you.
He's gonna make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, and he's gonna make a wisdom saving throw. A 15.
Wait, hold on. Ooh, I'm in the wrong area. Passes.
15 passes? Okay. And then anything from little fake Halifax there?
If he takes a step, yeah, he's gotta take a dex save. Actually, let me see something. I don't know if Spirit Guardians takes half damage on a fail. Let me see. Yeah, half damage. Okay, so he takes 6 radiant damage from the
6
He
radiant.
does
Okay.
take half for failing, but nothing else happens. And he may take a dex save unless you already took it.
Dex save. A nat 1.
Nat 1. All right, he takes 20 radiant damage, and Spectral Halifax disappears
This is so sick. I love
As-
this encounter right now.
as he takes one last blow at the creature, absorbing all of the energy that I can muster from Solima. Spectral Halifax dissipates.
This is sweet. He looks up at you, And like in the moment that Spectral Halifax like slashes into him and these spirit guardians are just smashing into him, his eyes glow brighter and brighter, and all of a sudden he lashes out at you. You need to make actually make one dex save for me.
Ooh boy.
Is his eyes like just launch these like magnified rays of light.
Got it. 17.
A 17 saves. So you take. Let me double check to.
Get off me, fiend! You're not even worth our time.
I don't think it's. Yeah, it's not half, so that is safe. You take no damage from that, and he smirks a little bit. The first like sort of emotion and human expression, other than like the tears rolling down his cheeks, and he glances over his shoulder at Eamon. And Eamon, I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Oh,
You're good at those.
yeah. I don't have advantage or nothing though. It's gonna be a luck. Let's go. 13. I fail.
13 for 21 radiant damage. You
Oh
just
my
like laser beams right through Amon's like chest area, and you see the light like leave through the back of Eamon and then like slowly thin out and dissipate into nothingness. And this creature turns around, and rather than bringing his eyes all the way back to Rylon, they set in on Ilfharyn.
No, not Mr. Perfeus.
And Eamon is unconscious.
Yes, sir. I would slump to the ground.
Ilfharyn, you're witnessing this thing that is like just have a complete change of kind of emotion all of a sudden and just go on like murder mode, and it slowly turns to face you.
We don't have the option to like tilt our characters to the floor.
No, that used to be a thing actually, and they're thinking about re-adding it. The Tailspire devs released a GIF of it, I think a month or so ago, of like tokens being like laid down on their side for if they're prone or whatever. But it looks really goofy currently because they've to custom do it with every token, I believe, because
So, like,
when it happens to like a cow, for example, the cow just like half of it is in the ground and half of it isn't.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, I can't shake this feeling that we're not doing much. I don't know why, dude. I don't. What is this thing, dude? Like,
You pounded this guy, and he's just.
yeah, I
kinda
know.
chilling.
It's just.
I mean, have you seen what this thing looks like? He's probably like
Yeah,
in-game
yeah.
boss. He's like Thanos coming in the tutorial level, just asking what's good.
I'm gonna hit you guys with something real. It's a CR5.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
If I calculate
Yeah.
my damage right now, it's a lot of damage.
This
This son of a bitch.
there has to be some trick here, dude. There has to be
Well,
something.
I'm sure he's like at least resistant or immune to radiant damage. So everything I've done, it probably has done nothing, or at the very least half as much is my guess.
And fire is doing nothing, and it's not reacting to anything. Okay,
It has lost quite a bit of HP. I will say that it has lost a lot of... I've scratched out numbers like 40 times now on my little notepad. It doesn't have less than half of its HP currently, though.
What?
The fuck?
something is not doing anything.
So now it's Ilfaryn's turn. And Ilfaryn is racking his brain. Something just isn't right. What do you do?
Ilfaryn is furrowing his brow and squinting. He looks over to his left to Eamon, who is now in a heap on the floor, and then his eyes flick over to Rylon, and he kind of like throws up an arm, as if to say, "What the fuck?" And man, I have options here, but I don't. I feel like I could just be wasting resources, so it's like I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm just gonna go for the same thing again. Something has to be doing damage here. If we just keep hitting our head against this wall, eventually it's gonna break. Okay, I don't care if it takes the next 3 hours. It's gonna break eventually.
Okay, so then what do you do?
I'm attacking it with the same thing I've been attacking it with: my rapier and my snake tongue.
This is so cool.
Ew.
First hit is a hit. I didn't call the cantrip. I'm calling the cantrip now. So if this is a miss, I fucked up. It's a nat one. Okay. Well, the cantrip does nothing. Damage is 6. We'll go ahead and snake tongue with the bonus. That's a 15.
A 15 on the snake tongue?
Yeah.
Jeez. Does that count as magical damage?
Oh no, that's an attack roll.
Oh, that hits, yeah.
The damage is 3.
Does that count as magical damage?
You know what? I don't. It says
Considering that it's a spell, I would think that it does.
I would assume
honestly.
so, but it does only. It's a melee spell attack. That's
It's such a pitiful amount that I'm gonna give it the magical trait regardless, because I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be, considering that you're actually transforming your tongue via magic into a snake.
And it's immune to poison.
This makes sense.
The snake biting it is effectively not
It's
poison.
a
Like-
nibble.
Like if a +1 weapon is considered magic, I would think that turning your tongue into something.
I mean, this is a 3rd level spell, so
Yeah.
I would hope so.
3rd level spell that does 1d8.
With
So
poisons. That's
this is that your turn?
that
Or
it's my turn. Yep, I'm standing my ground.
okay, before we go into Isaac's turn, I'm gonna say we're gonna take a 5 here for just a second. All right, we're back. Break is over. Just a quick break. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, you won't know because we edit that out. But I believe we come back into Isaac's turn. Just cracked a water bottle. Shame. Isaac is going to do the same thing he's been doing this whole time, which is kind of comical, actually. I can't wait to have like a post-session discussion about this with you guys. But he's going to swing twice, and he hits with the second one, dealing 11 slashing. Pretty good. Not bad. And you guys still have this thing surrounded. As somebody had mentioned, I think it was Undead mentioned, or Ilfharyn mentioned during the break, they've had this thing surrounded since turn 1. It's a CR5 creature, and they have not yet bloodied it. Actually, that attack there just bloodied it. So it's equal to or less than half of its HP. With that being said, we come over to Eamon's turn. Eamon, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Yeah, you got it, boss. That's gonna be a fail.
That is a fail. A 9. So close. First fail. Is this our first character death? Is this our TPK?
Bro, you know how
Well,
many
let's
times
find
I've
out.
rolled death saves already? I'm used to it by now, alright? I'm good.
But on some real talk, why are you bugging? He ain't dying.
Rylon, this thing just like turned around, zapped Eamon, is looking dead in the eyes of Ilfharyn with its like gently glowing silver eyes, like smoke roiling up from like its collarbone, smoke roiling downward from its midsection, and it's just floating there like clawed hands ready to strike at Ilfharyn. What do you do?
Fuck. Okay. I am going to... Oof. Eamon's down, right? And he rolled a 9. That's unfortunate. I'm going to... While he's distracted with Ilfharyn, I'm going to use my last sorcery point, and I'm going to extend my spell, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Eamon at 1st level. He takes... Oof, not that much, but he takes 6 healing back.
You'd wake up on the ground.
Yeah, 6 is better than 0 death, that's for sure.
And yeah, and for my movement, I am going to move towards and fly of Ilfharyn, and just.
Do you still have Spirit Guardians going on?
Yeah, I do. Because
Okay.
I haven't used my concentration for anything else, so they're still kind of booming around, flying up, little fucking gnats flying around. Oddly enough, these spirit guardians, they resemble Gabriel in a way, but
True.
Little bald, hairless, faceless creatures with great swords and bows and spears and stuff. Yeah, and I will post up and I will lower myself 5 feet, so I'm like literally barely standing above Ilfharyn, but like looking this creature like dead in the eyes to kind of get his attention.
There you go.
And that's gonna be my turn. As I hold on, wait, ready? I danced on Ilfharyn's head. All right, that's my turn.
Okay, and kind of distracted by you instead of Ilfharyn, all of a sudden you're like right in its eyes. It was able to pull its gaze away from you for long enough, but now that you're right there, it's just like a beacon drawing like a moth to the flame or a moth to the light, and it's going to it's gonna try and hit you with the radiant gaze.
All right.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Where is my dex? Dex attributes. Dex saving throw. 15. And you know what?
That saves.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
It tries to do it again.
Okay, hit me up. Dex saving throw again. My dex is really bad, so 4? Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
14 radiant damage.
Guess what? I'm resistant to radiant.
You're
bitch.
resistant.
Two play at this fucking.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask. I thought you were, but I didn't want to ask because that would be, kind of shitty of me. This creature doesn't know that,
Takes 2 to tango. Come on, let's go. How much was it?
You take 7 after a resistance.
7. Okay, so all right, got it. I look unfazed as I look at this creature, staring him eye to eye. Let's go. I'm pissed.
And the whole time it's just like hissing and wailing like incoherent stuff and just babbling in a like switching between celestial and abyssal and infernal. Nothing that makes sense. Nothing worth me really discussing. Other than it's just like one of the main topics is like the wings. It wants the wings back.
And I will, if you allow me to reply to it.
Yeah.
I reply to it in Celestial. I say, "You are an abomination. You'll never be granted your wings again." And that's all I'm going to say.
And tears like well in its eyes. And it is now Ilfharyn's turn. Ilfharyn mentioned that he has one heavy hitting spell and the rest is like all kind of utility and defense or something along those lines.
His heavy hitting spell, Snake Tongue.
Look, dude, that's a Grim Hollow spell right there. I picked that up just because it was Grim Hollow. I could have taken another 3rd level spell, but no, I chose this. Okay, now I like having a snake as a tongue.
3 damage.
Yeah. I mean, it's a one. Look, the poison is the bigger thing. Okay, but this thing's I'm gonna poison. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do? Okay, I'm still just gonna conserve resources. I don't. We're making slow progress, so it's fine. First attack is a 25. Once again,
hits.
Maybe I fucked up. Second attack with a cantrip is a 24. Okay, good stuff. Total damage is okay. Just 2 natural 1s with a +3, so that's gonna be 8 damage for the rapier. The booming blade is a 1d8. That's a 4. So 12 damage overall.
Okay, that's sweet. This thing's stat block is I cannot wait for the rest of the monster grimoire. I cannot wait. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll hit it with my tongue. Might as well, It's another 1d8 damage. If I hit it, which I didn't, so just go into the next person.
So like wind is just gusting down around you from Rylon's wings right above you, and it's like your hair is just like pulling off to each side, and dust is kicking up, and Rylon is just like speaking back and forth with this thing in Celestial, and you're just down here like stabbing forward, like looking for a weak spot, just stabbing forward, and it's definitely taking damage. How much? Who knows?
None is my guess.
I will say, because I don't want us to get caught up in our heads or anything like that, one of the things that I told you guys in preparation for this campaign was that you guys would be fighting things that would be challenging. And it's okay to run.
Boy, you bugging the fuck out.
You fucking crazy, bro. We're chilling. I ain't worried. He's safe from the ground.
He's safe from me. Yeah, like smoke is like billowing down around, and the only thing you can see as you're prone there on the ground looking up is like these glowing white eyes searing through the smoke, and like the flames that are gently roiling up around its collarbone. That being said, let's see your commentary. 2 attacks from, both of them hit from Isaac, and Isaac slashes out for a total of 25 slashing damage.
Damn, let's go. I give him a proving nod.
Coin well spent. That one drew the ire of this creature, and it felt that for sure, and looks like turning its head to the side, like in a flash moment. Its eyes like turning from this sort of silvery sunlight golden color to like a tinge of red in there, and it's now Eamon's turn.
Hey. Okay. So I am going to wipe some blood off my fucking face and stand up off the floor. I'd close my eyes for a second, concentrate, using my bonus action to activate my Chitness armor again, which would have faded when I was unconscious. And I step up and attack this thing. Shake both my clawed arms out, and then stands up and attack. 15 to hit.
Okay, sorry, just a second, just doing something real quick.
You got it, boss.
You said a 15. 15 does hit.
Okay, so 9 damage total, and I need to make a Constitution saving throw and a Strength saving throw, sir.
Con and strength. Strength, a 5, nat 1.
Okay.
Con, a 22.
Okay, succeeds in the con, fails the strength. I am going to push him 10 feet away from me. He's kind of float through you guys. And staying at 10-foot range, I'm going to lash out in my stance, kind of limping at this point, on one leg almost, with one more attack. It's going to be a 12.
A 12 does not hit.
He'd be very sad.
But like your psionic sort of force kind of fist forms in the air, like right in front of yours, and as you like go to jab out, it like shoots forward, blasting past and like creating a dust plume on the pillar at the building, like behind Rylon from you.
Yeah, and then at this point, I used half my movement. I'm gonna take a step to here into the doorway.
Retreating into the doorway.
You never know, man. Yeah, he kind of like half limps, like stalking around this thing in a circle, attempting to stay in stance, but he's obviously making his way towards the doorway and stands there, and that's where I end my turn, buddy.
I just realized, like, all the way that this is happening, Troy is upstairs, like, sleeping on the floor, and Stasriel's still, like, defending little...
It's fine.
Little
it's not his
quadrants.
watch.
It's not his watch. Okay. That's your turn?
That is my turn, sir.
Okay.
Hello?
Yo!
Sorry about that. I had to take an important phone call.
You're good. We edited it out. We're editing out everything between Eamon's turn ending and now. He made an insight check out of character. I mean, like, he rolled the insight check, but we're gonna edit out that part where he learned about it. That in looking at the skin and face of this creature, parts that he can see, they're very angelic looking, which
he's got that pink skin.
He's just got really like pristine looking kind of skin, very strong angelic facial features, stuff like that.
Yo, is this the the old Seraph of Imperius we're fighting right now? Can I take his armor?
Is he wearing armor?
I don't know. Is he?
No.
Okay.
But it is your turn now, Jimmy.
Oh shit.
So what are as we come over to Rylon's turn? What's Rylon doing? Aemon is fleeing into the building. Isaac is out here sticking around to fight. He's been unscathed so far. Ilfharyn, I believe, is also unscathed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good too. So seeing that, can I make an insight check to see if I notice that, like, between Ilfharyn and Isaac, who's been kind of dealing a bigger blow to this creature? Not like in terms of like overall, but like who seems to be hitting the hardest right now?
I'll give you one free roll. You're welcome to make an insight if you want. I'm gonna give you a few options, to consider, and I'm not gonna tell you what you might learn from them, of course, or what the rolls would even be like to check. But you can make a religion, an arcana, a perception, and insight. One of those four.
Okay, and if I were to metaphorically use my religion check, does my background apply?
Yeah, it would.
Ooh, so it's either a religion +4 plus a 1d6, or it's an arcana or insight +6. Ooh. We're gonna go with the religion plus 1d6. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the religion. 21. Wait, you know what? And we still wait. Hold on. We got it. +4, so 25.
25. Wow, that's crazy. So we were talking about this in the bit that we're going to be chopping out. So this will be fresh to the listener. But in the Grim Hollow document, in the player or in the playtest that they released for the Monster Grimoire, it's fantastic because not only do they have these super creative, like insanely creative stat blocks that are just really fitting to the scene and really awesome and very unique, and will keep your players guessing and thinking. But they also include salvage rules, which includes like things of value on the creatures in this book, and also things that are noteworthy about anything found on them, like what they can be used to create, what magical properties or unusual properties that they have. But it also includes lore, which tells you like DCs for certain checks and what the players would probably know based on those rolls. And so it informs me in this case on DC 10, 15, and 20 religion
what does
checks.
a 25 get me? What is this guy's name? I know this guy.
So it clicks finally. Like you're looking at this creature and you've been watching it, and now it's like so focused on your wings, and it's got these like kind of angelic sort of features, but also these like fiendish, like twisted, chaotic kind of features as well, and these brands above its eyebrows. And it's been mumbling in like these 3 different languages, which are very, fiend/celestial focused. And it dawns on you that you were warned about these things once upon a time in the year, what was it, 547?
Yes.
547, yeah. So in the year 547, before you were sent down, you were warned about things like this. Twisted creatures created by the archdemon Malakir himself. Seraphs that would be taken and killed and resurrected and twisted into these sort of slave-like seraphs sort of trapped in their own body. They still remember what it's like to be a seraph from time to time, and they're like just tortured forever. So you remember being warned that radiant damage not only does not affect them, but heals them. Because
fuck!
Because they have the flesh of a seraph still, and that dousing them with excess amounts of water or any amount of holy water can weaken them.
Wow.
And that the head of this creature must be consecrated in holy ceremony or otherwise rid of its evil to avoid it being rejuvenated at some point in the future. But also, it's possible that the head could be used for other things. So do with that information what you will.
Are you fucking stupid? What do you mean?
Called it. Called that shit. Tortured angel and he's healing.
You
fuck!
Oh my god, I'm
fuck
fucked.
This guy! Fuck! All my damage, Jimmy, every time he moved, just
I
went
know.
right back to him. Fuck!
Alright, so I hit one of those like That's So Raven, like when she like looks into the camera, like it just like looks into the future
This
and
is
back.
Such a cool encounter for me.
Oh my god. And I immediately yell out as like I kind of like cross my hands together, like almost like my arms across my chest, and I just let it off as my wings shoot back out as the spirit guardians dissolve as I use my incidental to kind of take away the spell.
Yeah.
And I say, it's immune to radiant damage! The holy water! And I reach into my pocket and I pull out the one vial that I have that Eamon gave me during the prep of the Darkreign, and I'm just gonna pour it all over it, as all of it as I can on this creature.
That's so cool. And are you like flying, like for flavor, like flying over it and across it?
Yeah, just like just
That's
up
sweet.
and down, across, left and right, all of that.
Just like
So
drenching it. And as it's like being drenched in this, it was looking towards Eamon as Eamon was going into the doorway, and all of a sudden it's just like its skin starts to sizzle and it's shrieking and like writhing and contorting in different directions, and it looks up at you, and there's just like its eyes are no longer that slight red tint, they are just a burning, angry red.
And I'm assuming that using that was my action, right?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have any bonus actions. No, I don't. Okay. And I'm just that's gonna be my turn, but I'm gonna be yelling out essentially the majority of what I've remembered. We have to remove its head. It should be weakened now. I'll refrain from the radiant damage, but we have to kill it now. And that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. What a game changer. It comes over to
Spectro Halifax though really fucked us over in the
really
end.
fucked you. Like every time that you were doing damage, you're like, I finger gun, I Spirit Guardian, Spectral Halifax hits it. I was just like grinning
Damn, what a-
ear to
what
ear,
a blow to my
scratching off that
ego.
number and adding
Damn.
like 20.
It really took Rylon down a couple pegs. And me out of character. Wow.
You son of a bitch!
So cool. I just like, and who would have thought, you know, that radiant damage heals it? But you guys were talking about it in like our little break, and it was like, should we use holy water? No. Holy water does radiant damage. What if it heals from that? And I'm just like, the creativity behind the brains at Ghostfire.
Fact. This is a CR5 creature that was made to demolish our party for sure.
For sure. So yes, now it comes away from your turn and back to, I'm gonna say its name out loud now, Lenchtag.
I gotta
Comes
write
over
this
to the
down.
Lenchtag's turn.
That's the name of the creature or its name?
Of this type of creature, it's called a Lenchtag. You don't.
Lynchstag.
It's German,
Yeah.
huh?
It's German, yeah.
Yeah, you'll notice that a lot of the middle territories like Burak and Ostoya and stuff like that really kind of sounds sort of German inspired, or I can't say for sure if it is Grabenstein. Yeah, it all kind of sounds a little German inspired, especially with a couple of the other creatures that are in the playtest.
Ulstenberg. Come on.
Yeah, Ulstenberg. Yeah,
Yeah, this is big German vibes in the Bureau.
it's very Empire German, like Warhammer Empire, like German. kind of
Shouts out
sounding.
Warhammer. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to come over to its turn, and in retort to you doing this, it is just going to try and shoot you out of the sky. Red beams from its eyes. You need to make 2 dex saves. I'm going to commit
Alright.
both of those to you right now.
That's fine. We'll see how it goes. 19, buddy.
A
How do you feel
19,
about that?
one more,
5.
and a 5. So the first one like misses, and it's like trying to, like its first angry response as you're dousing it in holy water, just looks straight up and just eyes just beam out, shining like a beacon deep into the sky, and like thinning and then dissolving, and then it like watches you, trails you, launches another that hits you right in the back as you're like trying to get away from it and back to your spot, dealing to you 15 radiant. We have and round down here, so 7 radiant is what you take.
Got it. All right.
And it's just like hissing and shrieking now back in infernal, some like probably curses, and it's just no longer tears streaming down its eyes. Its mouth is open and it's like red fiery smoke billowing up from it, just angry sort of jagged teeth. And it's Ilfharyn's turn now.
Sorry to butt in.
Yeah.
So my original religion check, I know you gave me all this information, but my initial question: who's doing the most damage? Is it Ilfharyn or is it Isaac?
I'd say Eamon was doing the most first, and then probably Ilfharyn to follow. Isaac being the tail, even with that like 25 slashing that he did.
Got it. Okay.
In one turn.
All right. Ilfharyn.
All right. I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. You know, it's like I said, it's gonna work at some point, and this is the point that it works. Okay. I'm gonna adjust slightly. I'm gonna put myself between it and the door
Okay.
where Eamon is.
Okay.
If I can actually grab myself, which I
There, I
don't
got
see.
you. There
Okay,
you go.
thank you very much. All right, 2 attacks coming right up. First is a miss. Second is
10.
advantage.
Yeah, misses.
It's a
15
15.
hits.
Okay, wonderful. Of course, that is the cantrip one. That's why I do that. So, damage on the rapier is 10.
10.
Boom
Got
blade
it.
again is a 7. So 17 total.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, you already know.
Viper tongue.
You already
I
know.
have a snake.
That's another 2.
So-
That's a nice little bit of damage.
Nibble, nibble.
So funny. So funny. Like Ilfharyn dashes around, like stabs, misses, stabs again, hits, and then like mouth opens, tongue like writhes, sizzles out or slithers out, and just like strikes once for 2 piercing.
You're kidding me.
Oh, God damn
no, it had 1. After that last hit, it had 1 HP plus the after the booming blade and the rapier hit.
Killed by a snake.
And the viper tongue just like reaches out, hits it in the midsection, and just like flinches, and like all of a sudden just like starts to crumble
Wait, hold on. I want to hear Nezzy describe his snake tongue.
Yeah, describe that for us. Like, what color is the snake? I'm gonna let you give it some flavor. Like,
I'm gonna
where
say
does it strike exactly?
it's tongue colored. It's
Ew.
red.
it's just
It's
just
like
pink
it's like a pinkish red
with like
snake.
that weird grayish kind of purple underside color to
And
it.
it's a weird spell. Like it's verbal,
Mhm.
and a few hand movements. But the snake isn't like hanging out all the time, right? It's like the snake is in some mysterious cavity in my mouth, and it just lashes out, and then it disappears back in like my tongue. It's you know,
this thing's
it's
eye
like
out.
it's like 5 feet long.
Okay.
Tom Riddle, you never cease
So-
to amaze me.
I never
So-
I don't know.
It was already looking kind of weak. I explained at one point that it was like below half HP.
Mhm.
I should have been describing how it looked weaker and weaker as we went along, but I was just so caught up in the moment, like with the combat, and so it started to look weaker and weaker. And when this holy water is doused on it, its eyes just flared up, kind of like a last ditch sort of effort. And who would have thought that the viper's tongue would be enough to cause the body from the collarbone down? Like if you look back at the art, like where the collarbone is like in flames, from the collarbone down, it starts to crumble and turn to dust before the head of this thing falls to the ground on top of a pillow of ashes. And it's still just like mouthing. I mean, you can't hear anything that's saying. It's mouthing syllables of some sort of dystopian language.
Are we out of combat now?
We are now out of combat.
All right, I immediately like drop to my fucking knees and I just yell out, "Stazriel!" as loud as I can.
You hear like a crackle of, like a series of crackling coming from the second floor of the building. When all of a sudden Stazriel like rushes out.
You would jump out of the way of fucking this dude.
Sorry. Stazriel like rushes downstairs and like out into the open and doorway and coming outside all the way. It was like a moment's notice. You see in his hand like the spear, and it's crackling with like jittering lines of lightning running along the blade of the spear and like up halfway to the haft to his hand. And he's like looking around panicked, wings tucked low against his back.
You're a bit late for that one.
Rylon!
I say I point towards the head as I immediately kind of like reach over towards its horns, and I like kind of like grasp it like the reins. And I say,
Rylon, what?
It says, do you know anything about this creature? Lechenstad. We have to concentrate it. We have to send it back.
And he looks at it and back at you. I don't know the means to get rid of it. I understand what it is. It's a Lenstag, created by Malakir.
Do you have anything like any sort of components that we could use to perhaps perform a ceremony, like a circle of sorts to keep it contained?
I know that it will take time for it to rejuvenate. A matter of days at the minimum. Bring it inside. We shouldn't be outside any longer.
Inside? What? I just grab it, and without even question, I just drag it inside.
The head is like the size of your chest, with its horns like jutting out, and sideways you're able to get it through the doorway.
Yeah, it's like bringing in a couch. I just slam it near the fireplace, like as far away from the front door as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not bringing this shit upstairs. The kid, that's fucked up. So I just leave it right here.
Isaac makes his way over to Eamon. Eamon looking pretty badly injured. A lot of blood kind of covering him. Get inside. I'll look after the front door.
I do appreciate that, pal. It's kind of limping. Glancing down at this corpse, is like dust like going in the wind kind of right now? Or is it like still a physical form on this corpse?
It's like ashes, and if there were wind to blow through, it'd be fair that it would go along with it.
Gotcha.
Yo, collect that shit.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it, but then I realized, I ain't that smart. I'm going inside. It's kind of limp inside.
You two, head on in. I'll take care of the outside. Shout if anything happens. He says that to Ilfharyn now.
I slowly turn to him, and I holster my rapier. There's some sweat beads coming down my forehead. kind of out of breath. And I kind of motion to the ashes, and I say, "This fucking thing." And then I go inside.
Right, well, he's dead now, he says as you make your way inside.
By the way, to clarify, no reaction from him with the whole unstable form thing, right?
No reaction from him, no.
Okay.
He places the like knightly sword kind of broadside of it on his shoulder and just stands there, like back leaned up against the wall or the corner of the building, I should say.
Dude, this Isaac guy, I don't know who he is, but he needs a raise.
Fucking shit. Listen, I paid him a lot, alright?
Yeah, how much did you pay again?
I don't remember, but it was in a lot of platinum. I have, what, 7
It was definitely in platinum.
left?
I gave you half for them.
Well, yeah, you did, but we all split our platinum. I have 19 platinum left, so whatever the 100 and whatever was split 4 ways, minus that is what I spent, basically, except for on the oil lanterns.
Right, I'm not sure what to do with this thing, but I do know that somewhere in this city, there's what do they call them? He like pauses for a moment to think. There's the library, there's the Museum of History, the graveyard, the temples. We could maybe seek guidance somewhere more close to the Archserist.
But in this city, they've demolished most of our kind around here, Stasriel. They've risen chapels in Malakir's name. Where are we going to find information on stuff like this that is encouraging this behavior?
Well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, perhaps. I'm not sure you like this suggestion, but the cathedral, where the blood drinkers are. These things are their enemies, too.
Rylon ponders it very heavily.
Ilfharyn?
Ilfharyn is slumped down against the wall with his head on his forehead, or his hand on his forehead. He doesn't respond.
All right. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You're right. I don't have the information on this. You don't have the information on this. We need it, though. Because this creature will not stay in this home as long as that boy is upstairs. I don't want the boy seeing it in being corrupted or it doing some sort of spell or trance or anything like that. It's the last thing that we need right now. So, we should go. We'll leave the boy with Isaac and he kind of tries to remember the other guy's name. And Troy. Yes, Troy. Actually, Rylon ponders a bit.
If there's anything that I would assume is related to this, it would be holy water. How much do we have left?
Yes, I remembered I think Eamon might have some, and potentially, I look over my shoulder at Ilfharyn. Because I know Eamon stocked up on it before the Darkreign, but I used it was essentially the only reason why we were able to completely kill it. I don't know why it didn't phase me in the combat, but radiant damage is the last thing that we need to do. Our spells, essentially, most of them are going to only make this creature stronger.
Luckily, mine focus in necrotic damage and lightning.
Gosh, at this moment I wish I didn't descend, because if I didn't, it'd be a lot easier in this combat. But regardless...
This world needs the Ascended, Rylon. This battle means nothing. There will be many more that your gifts will make great difference in.
You're right. I look back towards Ilfharyn and see how he's doing.
He's just chilling right now. He's taking a rest. That was not only physically, kind of exhausting, but mentally.
Yeah.
The whole idea that this thing just wasn't dying, and then it's like this problem is solved, and now he feels like an idiot.
I leave Ilfharyn be for the moment, and I look towards Stasriel and the boy.
The boy's fine, but I worry that I heard a lot going on out there. That fight lasted a matter of almost 2 minutes. I think that if you're spent, so to speak, it may not be safe to go out there until
you've been rested. Like I said, I know some things about this, and he kind of like eyes over towards the creature, the head on the ground. There's just still just like its eyebrows are furrowing and raising and lowering and pinching together, and its jaw is just spasming in like mouthed words of different syllables from different languages. That thing, it will take some time for it to rejuvenate, and when it does, it will be sudden. We have, I would assume, at least 3 days.
Do you have a rag or a bag or anything that we can use to cover this thing for now?
My cloak. And he kind of undoes like a little clasp around his the upper part of his torso and sheds off this lengthy cloak with a hood, at which his skin starts to glow again. It's magical. It should hide him well enough.
Right.
He drapes it over the creature's head. One of the horns like still peeks out at one of the corners.
Until then, the boy must remain upstairs. Have you noticed anything of... I took a quick look around when I first met the family the other day. Have you noticed any carvings of Moriel around here besides maybe the trinkets that the boy carries?
I haven't, but I could start to pay more attention, I suppose, now that you mention it. I'll keep my eye out.
Just in case. We might have something useful around here that we might be able to use. God prays that the Archseraph of heroism can bring us some sort of strength in times like this, especially in the home of where Seraph used to lie.
Yes, I would welcome it. Ilfharyn, is there anything that I can do for you? Anything that I can get you?
No, I'm fine.
Alright, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to make sure that Eamon is alright.
This creature, did it have a trinket with it or anything?
I think back. Did I remember any trinkets?
When I first described it, I said that you guys, you and Eamon, and when Ilfharyn came out, he probably would have noticed too. It had like a chain dangling from its mouth.
Oh, yeah, the drip. Okay, yep. And
like a thin golden chain.
I remember it had some sort of golden chain adorned on it, but that's about it. Why?
Where did it die? Just outside?
Right outside the door.
He shakes his head. I saw where it died. I'm a fool. And makes his way hastily for the door. He throws the door open and steps outside, sifting through the ashes there on the ground. You said you make your way upstairs towards Eamon, or do you wait downstairs now?
No, I'll make my way upstairs. I'm sure he's got it handled. I'll just make my way upstairs.
Eamon is just like standing at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there like there's the edge of the stairs there. I'd be sitting on it, and then like half my body just laying backwards. And you see I'm in my normal form now, human looking. I'm just sitting there smoking a pipe, like just laying out on the floor, slumped, absolutely exhausted.
All right, so as I approach Eamon, I kind of just look up him and down, and obviously he looks fucked up.
You take the pipe out of his mouth. Yes.
You did well, friend.
I don't feel well.
I can tell that. And Ilfaryn's hand, how's that been looking, by the way? Because the spectral, he had like his ghostly kind of like, Eamon's hand was like.
Oh, Eamon's hand. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, not Ilfaryn.
Yeah.
Eamon. Eamon's hand was obviously he peeked into the ether with it, and the past couple sessions I've been slowly healing it, but I haven't given it enough attention in the past couple days. So how's that been looking, Prowler?
Oh, sorry, that was a question for me.
Yes.
I don't know why, but in my head I was thinking Ilfaryn's hand, and I was like, Ilfaryn's hand is probably blurry, but that's up to him to respond. Eamon's hand, you recall that you healed it like all the way up to the fingertips, I believe, like the last knuckle.
Yeah, it's the last couple knuckles, but they're still gray. I still have no feeling in them. But I can move my fingers now, as of the last healing.
Yeah, like your thumb is healed all the way up, and it's all the way to your last knuckle on your ring finger, middle finger, and index finger, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got no feeling in my fingertip.
I will cast Cure Wounds on him as I kind of like walk by him, and I kind of like kneel over, and I'll just kind of like grab my holy symbol, or both of them, and I will hold my hand out towards him, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on specifically his hand to get it pumped back up again. So I'll cast that at 2nd level. So it'd be 2d8 plus 4. Let me roll it. 11 HP back.
Oh yeah, we take that. Several, like, you notice on his hand, besides the gray fingers, he has like several cuts and bruises all over his arm, and they would start to stitch back together.
And the gray fingertips do gain their color back. Finally.
Kind of like
But
taps.
it took you this long after being in the Aether for a moment.
Yeah, and it's been what? 2 weeks? A week and a half?
It's been about a week and a half.
Jeez.
He taps his fingertips, feeling the wood in the ground on the ground again. Well, I appreciate it, Rylon, but I can't help but be concerned for Halifax.
If it is anything that we note from your hand and what we experienced with that dragon, or that worm, the Aether is no joke.
So, is he already gone? If time is different there, as he says?
My experience with the Aether is almost none. And where I'm from, the Aether is not something we deal with. I mean, the whole darkness in Ostoya doesn't even exist. So I'm unsure. I know just as much as you, friend.
And how about the Ed of the Sing Below? Points down the stairs with his pipe.
It's contained, metaphorically. It's not really. We covered it with a cape. But we're going to take actions in the morning when we're a bit more recovered to the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and perhaps we're going to have to do a bit of finagling with the bloodsuckers to get more information on how to dispose of this creature entirely. Because despite popular belief that you're in a room with 2.5 seraphs, that might be a sitcom in the future, who knows. But we are unable to have the knowledge of figuring out how to dispose of it permanently. But I feel like they have the knowledge, because they've disposed of every single church or parish or anything that revolves around our kind entirely in Nov Ostoya.
I see.
So we're going to have to eat crow for tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So you are fully drained for the day?
I wouldn't say I'm entirely drained, but you notice I've got a couple scars on me. Not really scars, they're more like burns, I would imagine, because I haven't been like slashed.
Yeah, like searing, like char marks.
Yeah. So I've used a large portion of my capabilities for the day. I need some rest.
Well, it is the middle of the day right now?
It's like morning-ish.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Like
thought.
very early morning.
It's a brand new day.
Can you even take a short rest as like soon after like just sleeping? I don't even know the rules on that. Could you just go back to sleep?
If it's a short rest,
yeah,
At long rest,
short
sorry, I meant
like
not long
hanging
rest.
out.
I don't
Oh,
long rest.
rest.
Can you just take back-to-back long rests? I don't know how it works.
I think long rest is one a day.
Yeah.
I think.
So we're probably only eligible short rests, probably.
Yeah.
At least for the next couple hours, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So if you're willing, I can hang out for a bit and at least recover a bit of my wounds. Because I mean, we have Stasril, he's at least fully up and ready, and we have the other. And I kind of like motion towards the door behind me, Troy. He's we have more.
I do appreciate Stasril. I feel as though perhaps he should stay with the child if we are to go anywhere. I feel like that child is a beacon to evil things all around.
Yes, I agree, but I disagree. As terrible as it sounds, as a parental guardian for the time being, he must undergo a lot, Eamon. That boy has a destiny, whether he believe it or not, and while it might not align with what I believe, he has a purpose in Etheris, and whether it be now or later, he's going to have to experience these things eventually.
Well, unless you want him to experience getting murdered in his bed, I would think carefully about what you have Stasril do. But I digress. He is your friend. You make that decision for your own.
Speaking of Stazriel, the door closes and you hear him step back into the building, and he first turns to look at Ilfharyn. Ilfharyn, you see that he's holding in his hand his sweaty hands, which are now caked with ashes from this creature, so like kind of gray sooty. This golden chain, and like where the chain comes around, like in a full necklace, sort of. It meets at the edges of two wings that meet towards the center, like where the wings would like typically connect to like somebody's back. So it's just like a pair of little wings, like a little trinket of wings on this gold chain.
Mm-hmm. I'll just look at him, like, expectingly, just to see if he says anything.
I think this is it.
That's what?
It's not mine to take because I already have one. We're limited to one each. But this is the trinket of a seraph. That thing was a seraph once. Poor creature. Trapped in that body like that.
That's what Rylon said, or suspected.
I can't guess what this thing did, but if it belonged to Typhon, then it would be something of Imperius.
So, if we don't get rid of that head, it'll reform, yes?
Yes. The Lenstag will be rejuvenated, burst into flames, and just like a phoenix born anew.
So, better to find a way to put it out of its misery.
I would think so, yes. And until it is put out of its misery, I don't think that we can use this trinket for anything.
Well, hang on to it, I suppose.
Of course, with my life. The trinket of a seraph is something to cherish. A life of servitude and faith.
Well, not... Who knows about that one? Maybe it was a seraph at some point, but that point is... Maybe it only passed not long ago, but that thing was tormented.
Yes.
His eyes kind of trail off towards like the head covered in his cloak with the one horn kind of peeking out, like twisting and writhing towards the ceiling.
Yes.
We'll get rid of it. Don't worry.
I should show this to Rylon.
I had not.
He starts to make his way up the stairs, and as he starts to make his way up the stairs, and as Rylon is having this conversation with Eamon, Rylon, you hear something.
I see. Well, when we meet again, we will discuss ways to perhaps bring Halifax back. Or maybe he will find one on his...
And it cuts out, because there's a limit on how many words can be said in the message back.
I just caught up in the moment and all this bullshit that's going on, and even hearing Gabriel's voice was like almost like a pick-me-up of ego and confidence and narcissism, bringing me back to a time where I felt that I was empowered to have the strength to do more than the person next to me. But seeing Eamon and Ilfharyn and Stazriel and thinking about the boy and his mom that I swore to protect her was decapitated, like in the middle of the street, I just feel fucking weak. I feel shit right now. So I just kind of just sit down, kind of put my hand in my face and just run my fingers through my hair, and I just keep my head low. Just keep my head low.
Right on, Eamon, look, this trinket, this had to have belonged to Typhon.
And like I said before, I described it as the gold chain with the chains meeting at the edges of the wings, and then they come together and they meet at the other end of the wings.
I was just telling Ilfharyn that I think that it's still bound to that Lenstag, that poor seraph, but I think that this is something valuable and powerful.
So he would kind of lean out from his sitting position, glancing over, seeing Rylon's head in his hands. He'd pack his pipe a little bit and hold it out to Rylon.
He'd be hesitant, but he would take it.
And he kind of leans forwards on his, puts his arms on his knees and looks at the trinket. Do you know what it does, or is it but a gold chain with a symbol?
Mine turns into my spear. So, I would think that this does something. Rylon probably had one at one point too. Do you remember yours, Rylon?
I think back. Do I remember? Because I've always been... Because Rylon, because since my mother was a seraph, I've been more of less of a martial and more of a spellcaster because I've had this innate kind of talent for spellcasting. Do I remember having such a weapon? Or granted a weapon?
I'm gonna say make a history check.
Okay, because I mean I'm pretty old. I mean I'm not like fucking... I ain't like fucking somebody else old, but I'm alright.
You old motherfucker.
7.
It doesn't come to your mind, not yet. You like rack your brain, it's just not there.
Yeah, I'm just I can't even concentrate right now. I just shake my head.
Well, give, Rylon his time to process everything that has happened, and perhaps you two should experiment with the magic seraph chain.
When the creature downstairs is dealt with, yes, we will. For now, I think that I'll hold on to it. Keep it safe.
He gives him a casual shrug and, slumps backwards again, his head kind of, banging on the wood a little bit as he puts his arms up and just relaxes again.
Rylon gets up from his kind of, keeled over, depressed stance.
Mm-hmm.
And without saying anything, he turns towards the room where the child is, and he makes his way inside.
Amon's hand will shoot up, try to take his pipe back.
Oh yeah,
he just shoots up and put open.
Yeah, I take a large.
Oh, it's tobacco, so that's,
I hand it back. And I was supposed to be nonchalant, is now very abrupt and obnoxious as he makes his way towards the child's room.
He takes the pipe back.
The door is unlocked.
I go inside.
You find that the room is... You're on the second floor, right? And and the windows are all boarded, as we discussed previously. And there's just a small shrouded candle in the center of the room on the floor. And the kid is just sitting in the corner. Not terrified or anything like that, just kind of casually just bored, bunched up, legs almost to chest. There is a slight look of worry on his head, and he's probably still on his face, and he's probably still mourning, of course, the loss of his mother. But it's just kind of a defeated sort of expression, I should say, not quite bored.
Got it. I keep the door open. I don't close it behind me, but I see the child sitting there, and I kind of give him a half-hearted smile, enough to where deep in my own mental I'm broken right now. But I realize that there's a lot more at stake now that there's this child here, so I try to push through that and give him a half-hearted smile. Meanwhile, I'm singed to shit, and my eyes are probably sunken as fuck right now. And I just look over at him and I say, "Are you alright?"
He glances at you as you enter and then goes back to looking dead forward. Yeah, I'm fine.
And my wings are still out, so I come over towards him and I kind of sit down against the wall where he's at, and kind of not really looking at him, just kind of looking across the room. And I say, you look very brave. I'm surprised that most children I've known from your age, would have been whimpering or underneath their bed in cowardice, but here you are, prepared for anything.
Father taught me to be strong.
And your father, what was he like?
He was as tall as you. And not in plate. He kind of looks like he's in thought for a moment. He wasn't as pale as you. His hair was a little bit brighter. He always knew what to say. He was kind. He'll be back one day, I know it. So I have to stay strong until he does.
You're right. He will return. I guarantee you that. So whatever he told you when he left, he was true. So hold on to that. That strength. It runs deep in your veins, and don't you ever forget it. And I'm sorry. I made a promise to you and to your mother, and I could not keep that. But if it means anything, I will make sure that you will see your father again.
He nods a couple times.
He told me he was going to a place called Telstar.
And my wings and my ears perk up simultaneously. Telstar. What else did he say about Telstar? When did he leave, exactly?
He said it was west of Malkovia, and he left.
He thinks on it.
4 days ago?
Did he say why he was going to Telstar?
He said it was something to do with the ways of Moril. I'm not quite sure what that means yet.
Well, unfortunately, there's much to be done here in Nov Ostoya. And as you know, I'm sure this is not your first rodeo in the Darkreign. Things are quite rough at the moment. But it is my end goal to go to Telstar. So if you're willing, if you're capable...
Will you take me with you?
I smile. That depends. Do you have the heart?
I'm strong.
And let me see. Stand up.
He stands up. He's like up to your solar plex.
I kind of inspect the boy. I'm sure he's just wearing like rags or something, right? He's not wearing anything crazy.
Yeah, he's got like trousers on, but like his shirt is not the greatest of quality. It's more akin to rags than an actual blouse.
Well, you're right. Your father's taught you something well. You're a fierce warrior. I can see it in your eyes, in your stance. You're capable for anything that resides in these nights, I can tell you that. But, was there anything that your father left you while you were here? Perhaps keep you safe?
He thinks more on it. He looks like he opens his mouth to say something and then closes it, thinking better of it.
I don't press on it. I give him a smile and I get up and I kind of rub his head. I say, there is a lot that needs to be done, as I said. So we might be taking a step out from the house in the next hour or so. There is a lot that has been enchanted on your house to keep everyone inside safe. And you're familiar with Stasriel, my counterpart.
Where are you going?
We're going to meet up with very ugly people, very unsavory types, to unfortunately find information to dispose of a very, very bad man.
What made him bad?
Stuff that was not up to him. As there are as kind like you and I and like your father, there are those out there that are actively looking to take advantage of us. And unfortunately for the bad man, he didn't have a father like yours to keep him safe.
Do you?
I just give him a smile and I rub his hair. I just leave the room.
He watches you leave, and you can hear him like sit back down into the corner as you leave. Do you close the door or do you leave it open?
I'll close the door. And I guess I see Eamon and Stasriel outside. And I say, alright, shall we get some rest? Because we have some things to do within the hour, right?
Yes, I think that it would be in order to get some rest. Not quite me, but the three of you at least, and I'll go perhaps chat with Isaac.
Very well. And I will follow Stasriel down the stairs, but I will sit down in front of the head of the creature, and I'm just gonna stare at it for the next hour or so during this kind of short rest.
And would you guys say that you had any wood in the fire? Wood was kind of expensive leading up to Darkreign, of course, as we know.
I mean, I have like the abilities for like kindling, right? So I have some pitons, some wooden pitons, and I have torches. So I wouldn't say the fire is probably spectacular, but it's still lit.
Okay, gotcha.
I'd be throwing some kindling in there once in a while.
Yeah, it's cozy enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then with the firelight, Stazriel steps downstairs and he looks at Ilfharyn. What's Ilfharyn doing right now? Like,
Ilfharyn is just slumped against the wall, next to the fire. Kind of seems like he's in his thoughts.
are his eyes open?
Yeah, his eyes are open. He's just thinking. He's like staring at a wall with his brow furrowed.
Stazriel makes his way over to Ilfharyn first. Are you going to get some rest? I'll be outside with Isaac, and Rylon said that you three are traveling somewhere in the next hour.
Yes. I'll get some rest.
Anything troubling you?
Just, the whole thing, I don't know, the corruption of it, I guess.
Even the brightest beacons can turn dark one day.
I'm sure, but how does something like that happen? I mean, were they turned weeks ago, or years, or thousands? I don't know. How long have they been like that? They live like that? Do they roam around? It just boggles my mind.
There are worse things out there.
I'm sure.
And I fear that Darkreign will bring them here. So you should rest.
I'll rest. Of course, it's,
And clear your mind. You did well out there, by the way.
Well, I was trying. I didn't feel like I did well.
It takes a lot to face something like that. In the God Wars, it was between the gods, not the archdemons corrupting the souls of seraphs and the like. But there were many things spawned, and I didn't see them myself, but I've heard tales, and I hope that they stay gone. And in some ways, it's reason to be grateful that the gods are not around anymore, because it means that we may never see those things again.
I've heard the stories.
Stazriel has like a solemn expression on his face for a second. His eyes kind of drift down towards the fire, like silvery eyes and the firelight glistening in them. And he taps you like once or twice on the shoulder, just kind of like a hey, I'm here kind of tap. And turns and like gently his steps make their way towards the door, at which he opens the door and makes his way out into the darkness of Darkreign. He's greeted by like a grumble from Isaac before the door closes behind him. It's all you guys, by the way.
I'm staring at this creature, and I'll be just indulging in this kind of short rest, but I'll look over my shoulder at Ilfharyn and kind of give him a glance. How's he looking? Still looking shook?
Yeah, he's still a little bit shook. You know, he looks a little bit eased after Stazriel spoke to him. But, yeah, this bugs him.
Looking back at the head of the creature, but kind of speaking out loud in this kind of corridor, I'll say, what's wrong, Ilfharyn? They didn't teach you this enough at Ulmir's gate?
I suppose you could put it like that.
What did they teach you there, besides the whole song and dance? Anything about our kind and the demons of the like?
Most of that knowledge is outdated by this point.
And now you see how foolish that thought process is, huh?
Partially. I don't know. Things just seemed easier then. I feel like I missed a lot, you know? And things like this, sort of, I guess, when I think of like an abomination, you know? I think of
those ones that dart around in the darkness and all of that. Not this. The points at the head.
Still kind of looking at the head, and his eyes kind of reflecting the little bit of fire that remains in the fireplace. Give it as it may. The ways of religion is a bit archaic. I give you that, but it is real, Ilfharyn. It's not something that could be casted away with a twinge of a finger, or studied or forgotten to time. It is very alive, and around you, whether you want it to be there or not, it is always there.
But also the ability to pervert it. Like that thing, that could be you one day, somehow. How does it happen? Why?
How or why, I am quite unsure. But could it have been me? Very much so. I myself, before you met me, could have been in that same exact position. If anything, it is a mirror staring at that creature. The only reason why I am here, in whatever this is because I've strayed away from my faith. When I met my friends originally, my original party, if it will, Gabriel and Halifax and Reuben, I was nothing more than a man, same as you. I had everything in the world, but I casted it away because I was too proud. And I ended up just like the people I resented. And if I decided to indulge myself in that behavior, it could have been me out there. Who knows? It's a scary thought, for sure.
It's just strange, don't you think? This thing, this perversion, abomination. We have, well, is the child one of you?
In a way, yes. He shares, I don't know if he shares it right now, but whether he believes it or not, he's similar to myself. It's up to him to decide if it's the path he wishes to take, but he has blood in his veins that carries same as I. And I didn't start this way. I had to earn my wings, as the same as everyone else, but my mother, she was a seraph. And this is why I had a certain chip on my shoulder, because I felt I was deserving of these wings, not that I should earn them. So my ways of getting granted them were a bit far-fetched, and maybe I cut a bit of corners here and there, and maybe that's why I was so quick to renounce my faith, because I was so accustomed to them being in my life. And I worry that for the boy, because his father is a seraph of Moriel. So I hope he doesn't grow up the same way as I.
That, chain. What, what's the word? Arc. Whatever it is. Not God,
The Arch-Seraph.
below it. What was it? Yeah, what was that one?
He followed at least the Arch-Seraph of Imperius. The spirit of the old idea of strength and courage.
Courage and strength, and that's how he ended up.
And that's how he ended up. I mean, most followers of Imperius are zealots, to be honest with you, and to be quite honest with you, that's me preaching to the choir, because I've known my fair share of followers of Solima who are zealots. Shit, I've met some zealots back in Grabenstein that we had to deal with. So it is what it is, but it just goes to show you how this world, despite how much you have or how much valor or will that you carry on your back, this world eats you up. And it takes more than what you've been taught to truly survive in this world.
Do you have one of those chains?
I mean, the necklace.
Necklace, yes, the chain.
I don't think so, Prowler, do I? I don't think so.
No. And you would know that Stezriel's is in the form of like a bracelet. So they're not always confined to chains, so to speak. They're just these like little trinkets that are attached by some means. You would know that, Rylon. Ilfharyn might not.
I say with a large kind of sigh, no, I do not.
Well, why?
Because maybe I was undeserving. Maybe I was a spoiled brat, and Solima thought wiser to give me such power.
Say, could you go to Stazriel and get the necklace?
Sure. I kind of get my way up very slowly as I'm holding my back, kind of a little fucked up, and give it a nice little stretch and a crack, and make my way towards the door. And I open it up.
You hear the conversation between the two of them for a brief moment. Stazriel is saying something along the lines of, "Yes, you can really see it in the nose, actually." And then the door opens up. "Oh, hey, Rylon." And Stazriel's to the left of the door. Isaac is to the right.
I look at Stazriel for about a moment and kind of give a glance over towards Isaac, specifically examining his nose. And I look up at him, and I just look back at Stazriel. Do you mind if we? And I kind of reach over my shoulder and point towards Ilfharyn. Take a look at the chain. I'll give it back to you. Yeah, I'll give it back to you. Just for a moment.
Be my guest. I'm not greedy, Rylon, and it is safe with the two of you, I'm sure. Take it for as long as you need.
And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the chain, like dangling it, and the wings just like hanging there.
I take the chain, and I kind of give another glance towards Isaac. Say, Isaac, where are you from?
Well, it's a tough question. It's where have I been is a question I could answer better. I'm not quite sure exactly where I am from.
But traveled elsewhere besides the Ostoya, I imagine.
I've been around. Been to Castanella, been to Charnot, been to, the Baroque. Never to the north, though. Never.
Never that.
Why do you ask?
You remind me of someone, is all.
Oh?
Yeah, I had a friend who had similar courage to you. And, I don't know, something about you just kind of resonates with him, and just the memory of him. He's still alive, and he is making good strides for the betterment of Etheris as a whole. But, I don't know, something about you just kind of reminds me of a better time. So, whatever Eamon is paying you, ask him for more.
Right, in truth, I think that's one of the things you never ask your employer. But I'll bring it up jokingly. Tell him that you told me to say that.
And I give him kind of like a good clasp on the shoulder.
This fellow you're talking about, what's his name?
His name's Reuben.
Reuben. Right.
Aye.
He nods.
And if he has nothing else to say, I return back to Ilfharyn.
He's got nothing else to say.
Alright. I walk in with the drip chain and kind of hold it fist out towards Ilfharyn with it.
I take it in my hand. First I just look at it.
Okay.
Has the two wings on either side, right, you said?
Yeah, so it's like the chain comes all the way around, all the way down to like the very bottom of like the circle where the chain forms, right? It's a small set of wings. It's maybe like an inch and a half wide and like 3/4 of an inch tall. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, because I'm English and I have these measurements are just fucking out there. That's fine. Okay, I just kind of like, run my hands over it a little bit first. And I reposition myself. I delve a hand down towards my belt. I flip open a little pouch.
Oh.
And I pull out a pearl. It's a very nice looking pearl.
I glance at it.
And for the next I think it's 11 minutes. I'm going to cast Identify as a ritual on this.
What a weird number.
There's 1 minute to cast a spell, an additional 10 for the ritual.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense. Story checks out.
So Ilfharyn's just kind of sitting there staring at it, and he has this pearl in one hand, and he's saying, muttering things and moving his hands and all of that. He just kind of is examining it, but in a magical way.
Got it. And we're gonna come back to this. And we're gonna come over to Eamon. Eamon, you're what kind of position are you in? Like, and are you like actually like just resting, or are you like passed out sleeping, or like taking a little cat nap?
I would be in a very similar position as I was earlier. My legs hanging off the side of the not balcony, but the overhang of the stairs, and then my back just flat back against the ground. I'm just kind of sitting there, or laying there rather, with my pipe just laying on the ground next to me. I'm not passed out, but I'm just like sitting there with my eyes closed. Just, I don't want to move. You know, every part of my body hurts.
Okay. Someone greets you. It's actually not anyone near you, it's someone very far from you.
Ah, shit.
You hear a voice and it says,
Eamon, it's the first night of Darkreign. I'm stupid, you know it's Darkreign. I'm contacting you to say I hope you're safe and that you take care.
He let out just like an audible sigh.
Yeah, you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all around, right? And I don't know if you just want me to answer this, right? Or if you want to make that decision, but I did mention that me and her kind of had a rough relationship after she left. Is this like a thing that she would check? Like, has she checked in on me before, like, ever?
I would say of the... How many years is it that she's been gone?
Oh, a long time. She was a teenager. I have to check my backstory, but it's been a while, because I've been on this mission for 10 years, so it's been a good long time.
I'd say maybe in those 10 years, she's checked on you once.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And it was probably like after her second year when she was like feeling like really feeling the homesick. Like, yeah, like the Raven Court is super cool, but eventually, you know, your family is still family.
Right. How many words?
25.
Oh, fuck.
I actually added in. I wrote that one out before I said that, and I added in an extra word on accident. So we're gonna stretch that. It's gonna be 26 in that instance.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get a full 26 out here. Don't
My
you?
immersion.
Yeah.
Olinda, it is a pleasure to hear from you. If it's you, I am fine. Why don't... Oh, no. Tell me about your first spell. There you go. 26. Yeah.
Tell me about your first.
I brought it up last time. I'm bringing it up again.
Oh,
Fuck this,
God.
bitch. I remember my first spell.
Tell me about your first. All she hears is your first, though. So.
Eamon, I do not know who I fucked.
I'm gonna edit that out.
That is a personal.
Why?
Eamon, that is a personal question.
This bitch knows what I mean, alright?
A long moment passes. Probably like 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and then you hear something.
Eamon, it was something to do with an illusion. I genuinely don't remember the specifics, but I hope that you can believe me. Please.
And that's it.
Alright. How accurately does that line up with what I remember from way back when?
I'd say it was a pretty key event in your backstory. I would imagine that you remember pretty well.
Yeah, I wrote that out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned
Yes.
to us that it was an illusion.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, didn't you say it was minor
Sorry,
illusion?
It's been weeks. I have bad memory. Okay. He let out a sigh of relief, and also sit up. Well then, I am as safe as I can be. I am concerned for your well-being. Escape when you can.
Wow.
Escape.
Bad dream. Listen, I need her back home. All right, she's been too long over there.
There is another response.
Oh goddamn.
Sheesh. Eamon, it's funny that you mentioned that because I graduate in the end of Darkreign. Where should I go?
That's convenient. You would think. Alright, wise but not smart.
And take your time. I can edit out all this blank space. So.
Fuck, this bitch is trapping me. Alright, fuck. Come to Nov Ostoya. Meet us within the city. Contact me at the end of Darkreign, and I will inform you where.
And this time there's no response.
Good job, Eamon. Now the Raven Court's gonna kill us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh yeah. He lays back, fucking super confused and concerned, but also really whole mixed bag of emotions. This time he closes his eyes and tries to fucking pass out, like just shut his brain off for right now.
Sorry, I'm just jotting down this note.
We're so fucked.
We got vampires. We got angel demons. We got Raven
Fuck,
Court
let's
assassins.
throw some fucking wizard assassins in there. Fuck it.
Why not? Why not?
We got some angel demons.
I'll burn that wizard tower to the ground if they killed my sister. Bet.
Bet it up.
Now, coming away from Eamon and back down to Rylon and Ilfharyn. Unless you guys do anything else, well, this like 11 minutes is passing for Ilfharyn to identify this thing.
I'm just gonna eat some rations.
Can I take a short rest?
Yeah, I think by the time that Ilfharyn like finally gets done identifying this thing, you would probably have acquired your full short rest. You guys have been like talking and conversing and stuff like that. I'd say 30 minutes would have passed by then.
Cool.
Yeah, I hear a lot of rolling up our hit dice, getting some stacks back.
Yeah, all I get is unfortunately health. I get nothing back on a short rest. Actually, that's not true, but nothing that is really will save us.
I'm full power. I'm back. It's crazy how monks recover.
That Chichen armor, that's crazy.
All arcane recovery. The short rest.
Hey,
Very
yeah,
nice.
Get a nice spell slot back. We love that.
For real.
For real.
So now he says he's got one good spell. Now he's got two good spells. Right, Ilfharyn?
He gets the serpent's tongue.
No, but I do get my spell slots.
Oh, you
back.
get all
The
of
ones
them or
I
just
spent.
one?
Well, it is expended spell slots to recover, but it's half your wizard level rounded up. So mine is 8. So I can get a 3 and a 1, which is what I spent.
Dang.
Damn, that's broken as fuck. Nice.
He'd high five the short rest man.
Hell yeah. Honestly, that's one thing that never really I feel like happens too much is short rests.
Yeah, because you fucking go to sleep every time after a fight because of your spells.
Right?
And because there's only ever
Warlocks.
I feel like there's not many times in which multiple combats will happen in like a single span of time that would be between long rests.
Except for
Right.
Darkreign.
Except for Darkreign.
Yeah. Warlocks truly be cucked, huh?
Truly.
I'll just
Alright.
So you finish meditating on this pearl and this small trinket. Do you want to describe that at all?
I mean, I'm spending 11 minutes essentially doing. I'm feeling around, and I'm just holding this pearl, and I'm kind of rolling it over my palm. It is a component; it's not used, but it's a component that is required for this. He's kind of muttering to himself, occasionally closing his eyes. He's not talking. He kind of almost completely zones out of Rylon's presence.
And when the ritual is done casting, you find that there are whispers that only you seem to be able to hear that tell you the known name of this item. And they whisper, it's difficult to make out at first, but they say, Warrior's Wings. And that's it. They don't tell you anything more about this.
Okay. Farn tucks the pearl away, takes a final look. This chain, flips it around again, just kind of marveling it almost.
On the back of the chain, or on the back of the wings, there is a small, almost imperceptibly small, because the thing is, the wings aren't too big, engraved symbol of two fists breaking apart from each other with like a chain snapping at like two cuffs around each of the wrists. Like the chain snaps and breaks into a few different pieces in the middle between the two fists.
I kind of just let out, sort of the beginning of a laugh. Like you just snort some air from your nose. You just blow sharply. Kind of does that. It's like he finds something amusing here. I'm gonna hold it up, back towards Rylon, and I say, I didn't get as much as I thought I might, but then it's not conventional.
How do you mean?
Well, it's from a seraph. It's not just a magic, a wand, a book, a scroll, a weapon. These things, they're conventional,
So it's saying it's beyond your thread of arcane.
More or less, yes.
I take a glance at it. Can I make a religion check?
Yeah, sure, I'd say so. It's going to be a high DC because there's probably not much that you could glean from it, just at a glance. It would have to be something that you would recall.
Okay. Do I get my background with this?
It is applicable to Celestials, so yeah.
Alright.
It is a Celestial kind of thing.
Oof, 11. I'm assuming this is not going to pass, but we'll just do it anyways. So, 17.
Sorry, I set the DC at 20.
You hate to see
You
it.
hate to see it.
I just kind of shrug as I give it a good look over. And, well, at least we tried. Right?
It does have a name. It's Warrior's Wings.
Warrior's Wings.
It tells me that,
It tells you that?
Yes, like through magic. And also, flip it over. Look at the back of the wings.
I flip it over.
You need to look closely.
I look closely. What do I see?
It's the two fists with the cuffs around the wrists, and the chain linking the two cuffs being broken as the fists are pulling apart from each other. The
Right? Classic Imperious symbol.
classic Imperious symbol. You would know it at a glance.
It's ironic, isn't it?
How so?
This thing, this symbol of escaping entrapment, the cuffs binding it together, and that's what it stood for. Maybe it still did, and yet, well,
The followers of Imperious, they're almost destined to drive back archdemons. That is their purpose. Whereas, for example, Zabril, who Stazriel worships, they are more so purveyors of knowledge, right? They like to stick their noses in anywhere they can to gain absolute truth.
yes, like Olmir.
Yes, sort of like Olmir. And then there's my Archseraph Solima. And honestly, while justice and vengeance ties quite well with her being, her ultimate purpose resides something far greater than fighting daemons. She wishes to dissolve the Aether as a whole. That is our purpose, right? And then he kind of points up towards, the upper floor. And then there's Moriel, who more so, when you think about it, Ilfharyn is a lot like you, a mediator. A sense of bringing both sides of a spectrum and finding a truth that relies on spectrums and beliefs that are so far apart that they have to come to some sort of middle ground, right? And they have, usually those who follow, at least they exclaim themselves to be, have some sort of undearing and absolute patience. And judging by the cut of your jib, you seem like you have a lot of patience. You're quite calm, I'd say, in a lot of situations. And while this is the first time, I mean, I haven't known you very long, but this is the first time I've seen you racked. But you seem like you've got a good head on your shoulders with a lot of things.
You think me a mediator?
I mean, between me and Eamon, I'd say you're a good middle ground for sure, because if it was just us two, we'd be getting into a lot of shit.
That's partially true. Because probably would have killed that vampire in the street, although then it wouldn't have gotten that,
That money. We wouldn't have got the armor. I mean, you had the armor, but we wouldn't have got paid. And to be quite honest with you, me and Eamon probably would have marched our way, and he would kind of point off towards the door, towards that tower out there, and we probably would have tried our best and died trying, more than likely, to demolish the infrastructure of Nov Ostoya from the inside out. But that's what happens when you have hot-headed individuals with purposes beyond telling, ready to fight at the moment's notice. But it takes someone with a second glance or a read-over, an astute perception to truly anchor the team down. And I appreciate you for that.
See, I always thought myself more like Ulmir.
Really? Is it
Yes.
because you studied at his college?
Not just that. It was a hungering for knowledge of mostly anything else. You know of the old gods, yes?
I'm familiar with them, be it as it may, but I'm not that, acknowledged into them.
Ulmir the Wise is or was magic and chaos. It's all very convoluted now, don't you think? It was a lot simpler with 4.
It was.
Aurelia, Ulmir, Malagant, Galt. Very simple.
You see that the gods, they're far beyond your time and they're beyond mine. So it is, it's hard to relate to creatures like that. And I'm sure for you, I mean, you're way older than I, from a time way before I was even a twinkle in another's eye. But I don't know, what was life like, Ilfharyn, when you were a child? Did the gods, were they still around?
They were worshipped, yes. It was simple, really. I mean, home is a very simple place. The most complicated thing I did was take the journey. But if I didn't, I may have stayed there my entire life. May have become a fisherman like my father. Just fished for hundreds of years. Maybe got into politics. Who knows?
Well, if you hang out with Eamon long enough, that destiny may come true.
I don't know if I want that at this point.
Well, I look at the metaphorical watch on my wrist. I say, well, I hope you've gotten a good bit of rest, but hate to cut this conversation short, but there is a lot to be done.
No time like the present.
That's what they say. That's what they say. And let's go. Eamon!
What? What?
Come on.
Is it time
go.
already?
That time again.
I kind of stand up. There'd be some banging and stuff as he reorganizes his pack. Comes down the stairs. Okay, where are we going?
I open the door and I say, Stazriel,
Yes, Rylon.
you mentioned about perhaps a cabal of knowledge that these bloodsuckers might have. Do you know where we could begin locating this?
Well, Isaac here was telling me about the cathedral they'd been staying in the last few days, ever since the light had come. I think that would be a good place to search first.
And I look towards Isaac. Do you mind pointing us in the direction of where to go?
Isaac, he looks at you and kind of points at the building across the street.
If you draw a straight line between my fingertip and straight through that building and onto the other side, just keep going along that line. It's actually not that far from me. Maybe a couple streets down.
All right. I look towards Eamon and Ilfharyn. Right, you heard the man? Are you ready, both of you?
And as he said, he was going to step away for a second just because he had to check on his dog that was barking.
All right, come on. Are you ready?
Yes, I am prepared.
All right. I look towards Stazriel and give him a nice kind of, like one of those kind of extra pats on the back where you kind of like, hit him a little too hard so they kind of like move forward a bit. So, hope you're ready to hold down the fort, friend.
I was just going to ask, actually, if you wanted me to stay or to go with you.
Well, I have the absolute faith in our brothers here, Isaac and Troy. I think the boy needs something more relatable, at least for the hour at the very late, at most, that we're gone.
Right, I understand. Perhaps you should take one of them with you then. Wake Troy up.
I look up. I suppose. Honestly, I'm more comfortable with Isaac here, anyways. I yell up from the streets, Troy! Psst! Hey!
He just yells up. There's a couple grumbles, some shifting, some like knocking things over, it sounds like. And then like hustling down the stairs and out towards the door, weapon in hand, comes Troy, like just fitting his helmet on.
No rush, by the way.
I look towards Isaac. What did you find this one?
He looks between Isaac and you. Was there not a fight?
There's about to be. Come on, grab your things. Let's go.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm with it.
Okay.
Alright.
He like looks at him, waits for him to go get all of his things.
Does he have his armor on and shit? Is he ready to go?
He's got like his leathers on and his helmet.
Alright.
His chainmail.
We take the crusty-eyed man and we head towards the chapel.
And he okay. Yeah, so as you guys step out into the darkness and cross the street into, oh man, next session's gonna be good. Darkreign is gonna be good as a whole. But as you cross the street and make your way headed into the darkness and towards the cathedral with Troy in tow, that is where we're going to end this session.
Fuck, I knew you were gonna say it and I'm pissed off because it's so good.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm a fan of that one. I think there's some good combat. There's some cool kind of moments where things dawned on us, and there was some good roleplay. We got to learn some more about some characters and kind of get some more insight into where the story is headed next, or possible paths to where the story could head next, I should say. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end this session. We thank you guys, the listeners, for listening in and checking us out. If you haven't already, and I'm gonna get in the habit of mentioning it at the start and end of every session, go join the Discord. Come on and hang out with us and talk to the other people that are hanging out in there. I think at the time of recording this, we have about 90 people. So we could use more voices in there, more fingers to type. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. And if you want to try and get one of Ghostfire Gaming's hardcover copies of the Grim Hollow campaign guide, join the Discord, check out the giveaway deets, and get your name in there. Other than that, if you like what you hear, also subscribe to us on YouTube. But if you like what you hear and want to find a way to support us, we were only able to pay for this Grim Hollow campaign guide giveaway with the generous support of our Patreon supporters. If it's something that you truly enjoy and want to support and give back to the rest of the community, all of that funding goes towards art for the NPC spotlights. It goes towards animated versions of our logos for sake of just building a bigger kind of art scene for us and giving back to the community. So yeah, go follow us on all that stuff. As always, never split the party. We'll catch you next time. Thanks.